Everybody's mouth.
I think everybody got a question in there. I think everybody got a question in there.
I actually have another great one.
Oh, Doug, it's Weezer.
I would love for this answer. Pictures surfaced on my Twitter account yesterday. Not the ones most people would think would surface on my Twitter account, but a Croatian vending machine that cooks and dispenses pizza. What food items would you guys like to see in a vending machine?
White Castles.
Doug?
White Castles are pretty good, yeah. Are they not there now? I mean, you can get pizza in vending machines for a while. Mini little pizzas.
But they're not hot, though, are they?
Well, you got to cook them.
Yeah, warm them up real nice.
I want them ready to eat.
Do you? That's what the microwave is for, right there in the employee.
It's too much work.
Okay. I miss a good Hostess cherry pie in the vending machine. They don't even make those anymore, do they? Hostess out of business?
Charlie, what do you want?
I'm going to say, Doug, I'm going to say a fudge round.
Don't say fudge.
Not an oatmeal cream pie.
Hell is a fudge round.
It's a fudge version, and I shouldn't have said this because I left myself open to a lot of puns and whatnot. Yeah. But it's the fudge version of an oatmeal cream pie. Very good.
It just looks
I believe it's Little Debbie.
Like a fudgy hockey puck or something?
Pretty much. Real good. Real nice like.
Doug, fudge round is the answer.
It isn't the good answer.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Now, back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. The Post Sports Bar and Grill presents Iggy's Drops of the Week.
When did you first learn?
You hit that shttlecock so hard. How did you get that point?
The hairless porpoise.
What is this, something deaky? Is it deaky?
Well, I'm not talented.
You put that icing on there, boy?
That's a cock!
I thought I looked pretty.
You got the impression he was hitting on you, and you were welcoming his advances. Is that accurate?
I'm known for my patio.
How often are you, out in the town, perusing the young folk?
Go back to your thesaurus and look for something else.
Thesaurus.
What is a cuck?
You can caddy for me. I did a little more talking. Well, I have it saved for what I want to do, but I don't know how to do it.
Be in my body.
Who's Ellen Foley?
They all know who I am.
Oh, Iggy is not happy with the content as it doesn't involve him.
Well, you have a voice for radio, but you have a face for TV as well.
You smoke a lot? I guess not. Okay.
Well, supposedly she was a scout for Custard. I mean, Manning, I think his first 3 years, he was averaging 20 interceptions a game.
Huh? We just had a child, so obviously I'm breastfeeding.
You don't hear many guys named Justin back in the days of Christ.
Boy, that's a big long john.
Then you just humiliate him.
This just really chaps your ass, doesn't it?
Oh, God, that sounds like a porn.
And this is how good I am. I have a design that I was hoping Polo would do at some point over the last 10 years.
Did you ever talk with Ralph Lauren?
No, but I talked to one of their reps, and I said, have you ever thought about this?
We got kicked squarely in the scrotal sack.
I'm an island boy, and yes, I'm an island boy, and I come an island boy, and we are island boy. That's all it is. The whole song is that.
I can sell you my old boy leggings.
I'm never nervous. I've helped a lot of people out in this industry. Speaking of sports, and I hate to get on this topic, but I met Gaga. I don't get nervous. I'm at Hubbard now. Look at me. I'm cool. No, I'm the same person.
Could you imagine greasing him up to get him out of the tub?
But step 2 is definitely light hand play.
I watched a documentary on Calamity Jane. I'm going to guess that she's very cute.
Hey, Duggar, how about a pick?
Because I'm a big Hugh Hefner fan. Balak, Baliak, Zaliak, Bazaliak, Bozaliak. Well, a lot of our listeners don't work.
Suck on this, Doug. Suck on this, Doug.
That was Iggy's Drops of the Week, presented by The Post.
You wanted the best? Well, you got the best. The hottest band in the world.
Yes. The End of the Road World Tour. October 25th, Enterprise Center. Yes.
Countdown, the final 50 shows. On sale Friday, April 7th, 10 a.m. at livenation.com. History will be made.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and right now, this is a unique time with regards to the market. People are paying attention to interest rates, and I'm here with Ryan Kelly. And Ryan, what can you tell our listeners about this moment in American history?
Perfect time to buy a house. Yeah. That's for sure. And I know when I first say that, it just seems a little crazy. But think about this. Last year, $400,000 house, multiple offers coming in. You might have paid $450,000, $475,000 for that house. Now, today, it's officially a buyer's market. So that $400,000 house, you might be able to get it for $375,000 or even $350,000. So when you think about that, knowing that you can get a house significantly less today than a year ago, I mean, that's a win-win, right? And mortgage rates are definitely a little higher than they were a year ago. But at thehomeloanexpert.com, we have a saying: you marry the house, you date the rate, you fall in love with the house. You're going to be there for a while, but chances are we'll refinance you and get that rate and that payment down low. So got questions, ready to get pre-approved? Let's talk. It all starts today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
White dude, Asian dude, bad friends. Comedians Andrew Santino and Bob Lee bring their Bad Friends podcast live to Stifel Theater on Friday, April 14th. Get your tickets now at livenation.com.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, the Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You are listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the brand new Michelob Ultra Studios. It's our Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, the Plowhawk, and Action Jackson. Doug, let's take a look at the YouTube. How are things looking?
I don't know. It was kind of difficult yesterday. Hopefully we got some of the bugs ironed out.
I'm told that the cameras, Plowhawk, were moved.
Yeah, at least mine was.
I don't see. Iggy, do you see it up, Doug?
It doesn't look like it's working.
It's not working. Oh, gosh. Oh,
I'm sure.
Do you have it up
Jackson,
over there,
do you see
it works on Plowsy.
It's just a button. Plowsy just fixed it.
You forgot to hit the button.
Turn on the damn cameras!
God, it was 5
seconds.
seconds.
From the Hunchback of Von Castle.
But yes, I think they fixed. My camera went from the top of my computer to now its own separate arm. Right?
Iggy, Learn is in focus now. Iggy is not. Plowhawk is still, Doug, what we call in the television industry, the lower third. I am in the left. I guess I could move my...
Yeah, I would have to move to get into focus here.
Should that matter where the boxes are?
Well, Doug, you are perfectly centered. You look like you're doing a live shot.
Okay.
Live.
Am I orange still? I was orange yesterday.
Yeah, there's a glow, kind of like when Patrick Swayze was saying goodbye to Demi Moore right at the end of Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler alert. That's kind of looks like you're about to head off into another land.
No.
As long as you can see Learn, I don't care.
Yeah, she's there. Yeah, not the trench coat though. You didn't.
Yeah,
you took the trench coat off the door.
Oh, I put it on my chair.
We could easily hang something there. I mean, that certainly is a hook that needs to be used, whether it be for decoration.
Well, I have my trench coat. I just put it on my chair today instead of the hook.
Okay. Well, maybe Learn needs to go on that hook.
I don't know if you can get the
put a hole at the top of the Learn thing and then just put it right up there.
I can't poke a hole in that.
Well, right at the top.
Well, she's fine where she is.
Well, she keeps falling over.
No, she doesn't.
She fell over just a moment ago.
There's a trash can there.
Brian Henshin is the show's ombudsman, Doug. He also covers the Colts in Indianapolis, and he says Cannon plows angles. Not great. Also, it took a whopping 2 minutes for King Creep to drop a Learn reference. New record, Brian Henshin. I can't imagine that.
I'm afraid to touch these. I don't know if I could push this down or angle it down.
Oh, I don't know. I think you can move it.
It's way too expensive for me to just to take my hand and just...
I don't know that it
move
is.
it.
Please fix the YouTube stream. That's from Sally Land.
Come on, get the YouTube stream fixed.
It's on, bro.
It's on, bro. So that was quick. They fixed it.
I think this is the max
Now his chair's not going up.
Well, no, it's on the max height.
Are you okay, Plowsy?
We were trying to do it in terms of for the camera.
Okay.
To raise my chair.
And you're afraid just to tilt that little camera down slightly?
That
little camera's like 3,000
Yeah, dude.
You can still tilt it.
Nah, I'll just sit up more straight.
Did they do anything in here yesterday? Because it doesn't sound as tinny. At least Plowsy sounds a little more rich.
I like that.
I think it was just what Jackson said with the mic levels for sure at the first segment were hot yesterday.
They lowered all the cameras, too. We're really beginning to settle in.
I'm starting to bring some knickknacks in. I brought a Dotem Championship trophy in, a little Plowsy microphone ornament.
Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't.
I'll start bringing little things in here for the table.
Oh, yeah, let's get a lot of junk up in here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'll do something with the acoustics.
You think so?
I don't know.
Having trinkets will help the acoustics?
Your voice will bounce off the cup and come back.
I think so.
You could put a little shelf right here. Put some bobblehead knickknacks right
sure we could.
in the center.
Doug is still orange. That's from the 314.
I think
Where's that? Look at this screenshot.
Oh, Jackson, come on. You're
I
too
was
close.
wondering what Jackson would do.
That might become the fan page banner picture.
Now it's that light right there that is shining direct. Like these two are really directly at Doug.
Very bright.
I would like some red lights in here, maybe.
Well, should we tinker with the lights to see if maybe turning one of them off?
I don't know if there's a
Tinker and
dimmer.
touch.
There is a dimmer. No. Well, let's try it. Go
The
ahead.
YouTube feed is full of problems, but Tim still manages to look hot. That's from Uncle
Okay,
Tucker.
come on.
Tim, breastfeed Doug to help his jaundice.
Hold on, I got an idea.
YouTube stream works fine. I absolutely love that we troubleshoot on the air. That's from Susie Cream Cheese.
Yeah.
Is Susie Cream Cheese on the show?
I don't know.
Tim, I got to say, usually you're perfect, but loading up on Kevin now is a questionable move this week, especially when the course will play long. Well, Doug, I'm sure it was a questionable move when I picked Sam Burns to win the WGC match play, but the way you win in these things is you fire bombs, and look at Kevin Na's recent history at Augusta National. So, if you would like to link, you can get a taste. You can also text in at 314-881-TMA5, 314-881-TMA5. You can call in 636-9004-TMA. And, of course, email in for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email by the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Jackson, what is it that you're working on now? Oh, is that one of the cameras? Yeah. Wow,
Dude,
that's a tiny camera.
that looks
Bill.
amazing now. Damn, Jay. Nice.
Yeah, I like
Look at
that
that guy.
guy. Nice.
That was just by
So, like,
tinkering it just
I'm
a
in the
little
center now. Doug is still wonderfully placed. There's a light coming in. Iggy's low.
Yeah.
Plowhawk is low. That's how I would analyze it.
I like that you can see the morning at like, I don't know if you, I like my angle right now. It's not
Do you
terrible.
like it?
But you can't see my computer, but I'm fine with that.
There's too much headroom. There's way too much headroom.
I've always been a slumper.
All right.
Yeah, my mom used to tell me all the time, put your shoulders back, quit slumping over.
Okay.
And she was right, because now when I walk, I just kind of like slump. Instead of my shoulders back, I'm up like
It's
this.
because you're so often crestfallen.
No, I didn't get crestfallen until I started this show.
Oh.
When did that start? When was the first crest?
When was the first crest?
Is there an origin story
We'll
to
have to
that?
go back and find it.
You just got
'Cause I
beaten
didn't-
down.
Was it Doug? Was it Tim? Said
Couldn't take
crestfallen?
it anymore.
Doug definitely
Doug
said
said
it.
crestfallen first.
Yeah, I've never been crestfallen. So, yeah.
Well, we've seen it with our own eyes.
No, you just see me just get tired of a few things, but not crestfallen.
Well, it's wonderful. Doug, as a show, we were at the Blues game last night with some of our advertisers and the TMA 101 ESPN sales staff, and we saw Jim Dandy as the Blues defeat Vladimir Tarasenko and the New York Rangers. You call them the Blue Shirts.
If we had stayed to the end, that would have been something to see.
What was the final? 1-0?
Yep.
No, they won in
2-1,
overtime.
right? 2-1?
3-2.
Oh.
Did it go into overtime?
Yes, the Blues won in overtime.
No, I even told Tommy it's probably going to go into overtime.
How about that, Doug?
So you predicted it all.
That's a sick call, dude.
I said,
Yeah.
it's going to go into overtime now, and it did. But I wasn't around for that. But
Well, it was a fun night.
it was good to see some of the sponsors were out and our sales staff, and
And had Shake Shack in the
man.
suite.
Yeah, that didn't last
Bill
long.
Shake Shack.
when that box came up, that was empty quick.
Iggy, it's hard for you to go to these games and not have to pose for pictures and do a lot of signing. And
I thought I was safe. I did it once. I went between two suites to say hello to the different sponsors, and on my way back, somebody stopped me.
oh, I don't doubt that.
Glory, glory.
I didn't see Holly in there. No, I saw Jamie Rivers came in between periods and hung out for a bit.
He did.
Bernie Federico was trying to get chocolate chip cookies, which you didn't have.
You
Bernie
think
Federico was in the suite?
No, he was poking his head out before the game asking for chocolate chip cookies.
You think you need security when you go up there?
No, it's fine. I'll take pictures, but I just didn't expect it because it's a suite level. Yeah. And
I like cookies.
And between 201 and 205, there's like steps to go downstairs, and I was going by, and somebody said, Iggy. And I looked down, he goes, big fan, can I get a picture? Sure. So I did, but yeah, I just can't go anymore.
Big fan.
Yeah. Well, it's very generous of you to
That is
give
nice.
your time like
Hello, neighbor.
You guys can change the color temperature of Doug's camera if you're interested. That's from Matt Marshanoski, photographer.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing is, you look Oompa Loompa today, dude. It's
I feel
worse
like I'm
than
on
ever.
fire over here.
Give me one moment. I'll try it.
Jackson, you know how to change color?
No,
camera
but
temperature?
no,
It's like a sun lamp.
F it. I'll try
Yeah,
it.
it's that light right there.
Maybe we could stand on the desk here and undo the bulb.
Ooh, who wants to get on?
I'm
and
the
do dollar
lightest one. I'm
dances?
willing to do it.
What are you at, $1.30?
Yeah, there's no way. I mean,
Oh,
this
you just
equipment
turned it
right here.
off.
Yeah, but I don't know if I...
Yeah, but it didn't work either.
How do I look now?
Almost more orange.
Oh. Okay.
The other one, our other studio had a dimmer where you could actually dim it. This one's just off
Well,
and on.
sure it did. That'd probably just be a matter
Glory,
of switching those
glory,
out.
It's the Munganast St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour, and it was great to see Peter Munganast at the game last night with his lovely girlfriend. Munganast is online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. There's a lot of Munganasts out there, the ones that you want to support, if you want to support the sponsors, stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. That's Munganast, sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour, with a secret phone number of 314-252-0029. You can call or text anytime you want. That's for our listeners with questions, comments, requests. Even if you didn't get your car from Munganast, get it serviced at Munganast, stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. Also the sponsor of the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. And, Doug, we're through one round at Augusta. Very questionable as to whether or not we will get through 2 rounds today or even tomorrow with the forecast. Iggy, who is winning the Munganast Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown?
I don't know. I would guess I am. Doug's got 2 guys that are a total of 8 over par.
Oh.
No. Alex Noren.
Alex Noren and I don't know who else you got over par.
Bryson.
Yeah, Bryson.
He's already out on the golf course, and he has bogeyed.
Doug. I got my team's. I got one guy. Corey Connors is 1 over par, and that's because he double bogeyed 15 after going to that hole 2 under par.
Idiot.
You figure he's going to leave 15 at 3 under. He left at even and then bogeyed again. But I got Jay Day. He's up there. I've got. I don't care who I have. I don't know.
I mean, I have the roster.
Yeah, go ahead. 'Cause I'm just
Fascinating segment.
I'm just guessing. I don't have it up.
Iggs, you have Xander, Finau, and J Day. Those
You got to be
top
thrilled
3.
with those plays.
Yeah, those 3, and even Fleetwood. I think got it back
Keep an
to
eye on
even.
Tony Finau.
I think that Corey will have a good day today.
Do you?
Yeah, he's going out in the morning, so he'll get that fresh greens. And
Fresh greens.
no wind, so we'll be good early. Yeah, I'm probably about, I would say probably 50, 60 in front of Doug.
Yeah, that's accurate. Doug has Adam Scott and Matthew Fitzpatrick, who are both 4 under and 2 under, respectively. Hideki and Rory, who are even and under par. But unfortunately, you have Bryson DeChambeau, Doug, who's 3 over. He's just started his first hole. He bogeyed, so 3 over.
Well, I blindly picked these fellas.
And then Noren, of course, who is 6 over. So I guess you would want that Noren pick back, Doug. I don't know what you were thinking.
No, I wasn't thinking anything.
What were you
I
doing?
turned my head and just pulled out of a box. I just did it for the children.
Tim, I'm guessing the cut's going to be probably 2.
Here, now that we kind of sit close to each other, you get to see what I'm looking at.
Scott Piercy at 50 to 1.
I think Scott Piercy's the guy who's going to win the Masters. +1 is 33.9%, +2 is 37%, +3 is 14.5%. That's from Data Golf, which is doing its own strokes gained since Augusta does not do strokes gained. And the ball striking clinic we saw yesterday from Brooks Koepka and then John Rahm. How do you do? But Doug, as we talked about it before the show, Cam Young's distance and his carry, that's something to keep an eye on if you're looking for a relative long shot. When I say he's a long shot, like Scott Piercy, as Francesa said, but a relative long shot when you see names like Rahm and Hovland and Koepka at the top of the leaderboard, along with Jason Day, who's playing very well. But Cameron Young's at 5 under. He's only 2 back, and I just bet him. I think he might be +2,000.
Ooh, that may, that's a good play. That's
It's
a
plus
value play.
1,800.
That's a value play.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised yesterday, unless I was just missing something. But I watched. I mean, I watched all day. I watched ESPN Plus when I got home, and they had the featured group, which was Tiger, and then when it came on regular ESPN. But it just seems like to me they hardly ever showed Scotty Scheffler's shot. The guy shot 4 under.
It was all over the Masters app.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched on TV. And maybe it's because of his pairing. He had Bennett, who's an amateur who played great.
They had Homa mic'd up. I thought it was great what they did with the production of interviewing Rory on 9 and Homa on, I think it was 14. Even followed him when he was not being interviewed, his interaction with his caddy, and then his putt. I love that production. They have him wear AirPods and do an interview with the crew. It's really good.
Yeah, they started doing that, I guess, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
I think the first one was at Pebble with Keith Mitchell, and then he wound up winning. Or I don't know. He wound up top 10ing or something. Either way, do you guys think Koepka wears underwear on the course, or does he go commando and let that dong hang? That's from Eric in the Central West End. Plowhawk, you kind of cover dongs on the PGA Tour for us. What do you think?
I mean, if it's any kind of zipper on the pant, now I don't know if you can wear, those dress-up joggers, but I would say you got to have some undertrow of some kind, right, Doug?
Undertrow?
You got to have a layer between any zipper or buttons.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's
especially
just,
zippers.
Yeah. Chafing, all that sort of thing. Oh, God.
He's big into wearing thongs.
What?
I've seen quite a few pictures of him and Jenna together, and he's always got a thong on.
Oh.
He's kind of European, but he's not European.
What kind of gentleman would wear a thong?
Well, he used to.
It's very common now.
It is not. It is not common. Did you see how much money they're making on merchandise? Did you see that from Golf Magazine?
$1 million an hour or something like that?
$70 million this week, $10 million a day, $1 million an hour, $16,000 a minute, $277 every second.
You're talking the Masters?
The Masters on their merchandise.
Wow.
That's not bad.
You think, this is just a guess on your part, do you think a lot of those members take for granted that they're at Augusta? Like, if I was in the press conference with Chairman Ridley.
Thank you.
Good Lord.
That was really inappropriate.
Disrespectful.
I would have. Here's a question I would ask him: do you ever just leave your office and just go out and walk around the grounds and go to the Eisenhower Pond and just kind of sit there and relax and look at the beauty of this place, or do you just nah? Yeah, I'd like to know if those guys take it for granted that we're on one of the most beautiful properties in the world and we just kind of just don't even care. I'm seeing a shot from the Golf Channel Live from the Masters, and in the background there's a cottage with a couple of lawn chairs sitting out there. There's never anybody out there. I would just go sit out there and just relax and
They probably wouldn't let you.
look at the beauty, have an iced
Probably
tea, and
against
just
the
relax.
rules.
But I'd like to ask him
that.
that.
Are sufficiently high enough in the air that they have total respect for where they are.
Yeah, but I just wonder if they take it for granted that they never leave their office. Does Ridley ever get in a cart? I'm going to play 9 holes today. Just go jump in a cart and play 9.
Just get some work in on 15.
Probably so.
Remember, he can play whenever he wants.
Brown crew would love that.
Chip around. Guys, that might be one of the worst questions that was ever asked on this show. That's from the bastard James Hahn. He is not in the field.
Hahn.
Well, it wasn't asked. I was just. It would have been asked if I was there.
We need to give Jackson props. He fixed Doug's.
Oh, is that right? Let me check in on the YouTube. YouTube.com/TMASTL.
Look at that sex machine.
Wow, what'd you do, Jackson?
I hit some buttons.
He had some buttons and levers.
Nice levers.
Look at it.
Mad props. You still look orange now.
I do?
You still got that light directly on you, but in the camera you actually look very much so your normal self.
John S. wants to discuss the Koepka caddy issue, and he's really active about it.
I don't get the rule. I guess I just learned this.
I have to tell you, I was driving back from the Blues game last night. I was listening to PGA Tour Radio, where Jennings used to work, on Sirius XM, Channel 92 for the record, and they were discussing it, and then I was watching live from the Masters on the Golf Channel when I got home and popped my sleeping pills. Always inefficient relative to how much alcohol I take, although I took in, but I only had a beer, and Doug, would you say a beer and a quarter?
I don't know how much you had. I wasn't monitoring
that
that
anymore. But anyway, so I didn't know that either. Because when I'm playing with people, even when I'm playing for money, I don't know if I'm playing not like a fan page club championship, but like in a real competition, people will have interactions where you go, what'd you hit there? Just BSing.
So I honestly didn't know that rule.
You know, the caddy, like
There's
if
the
a kept
caddy.
us saying, hey, I hit a 5 iron.
So it's a rule that, because it's to protect the field. But I was watching Paul McGinley on Golf Channel with Brandel Chambly, who's obsessed with Liv, and he was saying it is absolutely a rule. And he goes, I'm not trying to say that the rule shouldn't be counted, but this is something that everybody, if they're hand over their heart, would admit that they do, that the caddies do. Every caddy, they do it. And Doug, you might not be familiar with it on number 15.
No.
Gary Woodland and Brooks Koepka were playing together, and I don't know whose caddy said to who, but either way, one of the caddies, I think it might have been Woodland's caddy to Koepka.
I think it's the other way around.
Oh, okay. Koepka's caddy to Woodland's caddy. What did he hit there? And you can see him going 5-5. What McGinley said, and what I was hearing on XM radio also, was usually there's little ways of doing it without saying it. Like, you know, the way to do it is to wipe the club off and then kind of do it at an angle so you can see it. Because it is a rule and they are aware of it, but it's just one of those things. I guess it's like scuffing the baseball in the postseason. It was a big deal to us as talk show hosts and fans in 2006 with Kenny Rogers, in 2013 with John Lester. But the reason why the Cardinals didn't pursue it either year was because it was understood that everybody's using pine tar, in particular in the postseason when it's cold and it's tough to grip the baseball, as it was in Detroit in October of 2006 and Boston in October of 2013. So that is why, while Koepka denied it in the post-round interview and he was not penalized, it is a rule, and it's a 2-stroke penalty. So Brooks Koepka would have gone from tied for the lead to down to 5 under and tied with Cam Young and Jason Day.
I don't get why it wasn't a penalty if that's the rule.
Because they both denied it. They don't have any evidence.
No, they didn't go back and read lips or anything.
I'm sure they did. It's a great question also. But they just, I mean, all they can do is say hearsay.
Yeah.
So there's nothing they can do about it.
That very rarely happens because what they do is if they're really interested, the caddy or the player will go look in the bag. While they're hitting, they go look in the other player's bag. You can do that. That's not
You
against
can root around the other guy's equipment?
I mean, you can just walk over there and look in his bag and see, okay, he's hit a 7-iron. You don't, but you can't ask, but you can go look.
Did you ever do that when you caddied on the LPGA
I did once.
Tour?
She said, go see what she's hitting.
And so you look and see what club's missing.
I just walked over by the other caddy and kind of sit there and I looked in the bag. I said, 8-iron.
Because the 8-iron wasn't in the bag.
Yep. Yeah, that means she's hitting the 8-iron.
Right.
Man, Brandel, his tweet was hilarious, though. Did you see the one
I don't
about
follow. I'm just not on Twitter.
Bob Hogan?
What was he worked up about?
Oh, talking about integrity of the game, how Bob Hogan or one of the old school.
Bob Hogan, Doug
Ben
Ben's
Hogan.
brother.
Ben Hogan.
Ben Hogan.
Excuse me. Well, that Ben Hogan would call penalties on himself all the time, and he misses the integrity of the game.
Oh,
it's like that makes me sick to my stomach that
Yeah.
that guy cared this much.
Brandel Chambly tweeted that?
Yeah, he
Bobby
tweeted-
Okay, Bobby
Bobby
Jones was
Jones,
known to. Well, he hates Koepka.
Yeah, true,
There's these little dynamics that go on. Bobby Jones was known to have called penalties on himself that cost him majors. There's a reason the highest honor given by the USGA is the Bobby Jones Award. I think he would have been disappointed today.
Oh,
You
no.
like that, Doug?
We don't want to disappoint Bobby Jones.
He won.
We got to get Bobby Jones on.
That's
Well, he's been
Or
dead
Bob
for
Hogan.
years.
Is
Hogan's
Bob
been
available?
gone
I know
for
Ben's no longer with us,
many
but is
years.
Bob with us?
There was a player, it was a couple years ago, and I cannot remember his name. It was the U.S. Amateur, actually.
Sepp Straka.
The
No.
bastard.
I think he was down. I think he was down a stroke or down one hole going to 18, and his ball moved, and he called a penalty on himself and lost the hole, lost the match. It was the
It moved
finals
because
too.
he hit it. 'Cause
No,
touched
he
it.
addressed the ball behind it, but then it moved. Now that's not a penalty. I think he can move it back to where it
It
was.
shouldn't be a penalty if you didn't hit the ball.
Now, Doug, honestly, though, and you have to be honest, would you call a penalty on yourself if no one else saw it?
Probably not. Probably not.
I did one time
No.
in a tournament I was playing at Spencer Team.
Oh, well, you're Mr. Integrity.
No, I brought
Spencer Team.
I was in a sand trap and I brought the club back and I touched the sand, And I called it on myself. I said, I touched the sand on the way back.
That's a ridiculous penalty.
It is ridiculous. You're not helping yourself by hitting sand on the way back, but you're not building a little bed like Patrick Reed did.
Freed. Bobby Jones was the epitome of sportsmanship and also is credited for establishing the first Tushy booth at Amen Corner. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you know he built the first Tushy booth?
It often goes
Where is it?
unreported.
Where is that? Is that like off of 12?
It's underground.
It's an underground Tushy booth.
The media didn't report things like that back then. That's why Babe Ruth got away with everything, too.
Tim, how about Morikawa cheating? So the Colin Morikawa thing, social media erupted Thursday when a clip of Colin Morikawa went viral and viewers swiftly accused him of cheating. But it might not be that simple. TV cameras showed Morikawa appearing to move his ball to a new location on the number 6 green. During Thursday's first round of the Masters, armchair rules interpreters were quick to point out that something looked fishy. Quote, I need a rules official to weigh in on what Morikawa was doing here. One Twitter account called Live Golf Date. Live
Jesus.
Golf tweet. God, one Twitter account. But with more context and an extended look at Morikawa preparing for his putt, the incident was not as some initially thought. As it turns out, the extended version of the clip showed Morikawa's ball appeared to move involuntarily after it had been marked. Morikawa then looks toward his playing partner before crouching down and replacing his ball before marking it again. Morikawa appeared to be checking with his playing partner to make sure he was following regulations, and a quick look through the rulebook suggests he was in the right. According to the rule, a ball that was moved must be replaced to the original location, which it appears Morikawa tried to do. And then it goes into what the full rule is. There are 2 specific rules for a ball or ball marker that moves on the putting green. Number 1, no penalty for accidentally causing ball to move. There is no penalty if the player, opponent, or another player in stroke play accidentally moves the player's ball or ball marker on the putting green. The player must replace the ball in its original spot or place a ball marker to mark that original spot. The exception is the ball must be played as it lies when the ball begins to move during the backswing or stroke and the stroke is made. And then number 2, when to replace the ball moved by natural forces, if the natural forces cause a player's ball on the putting green to move, where the player must play from next depends on whether the ball had already been lifted and replaced on its original spot. So anyway, the ball moved, and that was what happened, but the way that the person who got the clip that went viral edited it did not include that, and so then it became Colin Morikawa's cheating.
And they got a whole article out of it.
Don't you know there's a bunch of hall monitors watching these games at home now?
Oh,
watching
yeah.
these matches, just waiting for a possible rules violation to try to be the hero to call it out.
Did they change that to where they can't have somebody call in to
They did. They did.
It's crazy that you would even think of trying to do that.
I'd like to know where they get the number. People would say they called the truck and told them, where are you getting number to the CBS truck to call in and say, hey, I think that ball moved. And where are you getting the number? It's not listed anywhere.
Guys, I wonder if Jim Nicklaus and Aaron Palmer ever called penalties on themselves when playing match play back in the 70s. Also, it sounds like someone is having an asthma attack into the microphone with the constant wheezing this morning. Doug, that's Nathan from the east side of Alton. I can't speak to who's wheezing. I can just tell you who texted, and that's Nathan, who's oftentimes a critic of the program.
Yeah, I don't hear the wheezing.
No, either does he, but he likes to bring that up every time. Going to a new studio, he's going to bring it up again.
You're down a little bit now, aren't you?
No, I'm just find some new material, man.
Oh. Okay. Well, don't let him get you down.
He's not getting me down. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to sip my coffee extra loud today.
Okay, let's hear
Take
it.
a listen, Doug. It's like Susie Green, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It's the lip smack that's so hideous.
You can text in your thoughts on the lip smack being so hideous to the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox. Engineer Design Facilities is moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facility service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. Contact the EDF Group. Email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at the edfgroup.com. If a listener wants to contact the EDF Group, all they have to do is email fire@theedfgroup.com, or they can go to the new website, theedfgroup.com, and fill out the form at the bottom of the website. It's EDF, the EDF Group, sponsor of our text inbox here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. And Doug, I just mentioned it's the Ryan Kelly Morning After, and that's because he's our title sponsor.
What he is, he's the home loan expert. So if you're looking for a home and you're going to need a loan, this is where you go. It makes sense. The home loan expert. It's been a difficult market in recent months and recent years, but interest rates are now coming down, as Ryan told us. They're now in the 5s. That's about 2 points lower than they were just a short while ago. So go ahead. If you see that house that you like, go ahead and buy it. Let Ryan and his team show you how to make the payments as low as possible. With inflation here, people are taking on more debt than ever. If you're a homeowner, leverage your equity. Put that equity to work in your home with a simple cash-out refinance. I've done 2 cash-out refinances with Ryan Kelly. Thank you very much. Pay off anything you want. Maybe those credit cards. The average credit card interest rate right now is more than 24%. It's the highest it's been in over 30 years. With inflation, people are carrying more debt than ever. Put your equity to work for you with a simple cash-out refi. The average home loan expert receives more than $54,000 cash out on their refinance. That's a big chunk of money that you can pay off that credit card debt with. Hopefully you're not more than $54,000 in credit card debt, but even if you are.
What if I want a cigarette boat to have at the lake for Memorial Day weekend?
You could have it. You could have it. Do whatever you want with that equity. I guess you could get a cigarette boat for $54,000, probably in the neighborhood. Yeah. So forget about paying off credit card debt. What Ryan is suggesting is you buy yourself a cigarette boat for the Lake of the Ozarks
That's what he's
this
saying.
summer.
Memorial Day weekend in particular.
Cash out refinance. Yes, you can have your boat, and you can have it by the time the weather gets warm enough. That's the homeloanexpert.com. Thank you, Ryan Kelly. Thank you, Sir Morgan.
There he is. Hey, guys, it's a good thing that you are now no longer on AM radio. Good thing the show is on HD2 now. And this person sent a link. I was not familiar with this story. Ford Motor Company will be dropping AM radio from all new vehicles they produce.
Why?
How about that?
So you can't listen to a Cardinal game?
I believe that there is some HD thing. I don't know. I don't know. It's not a Hubbard station anyways, so it's not my job to talk about whatever they're doing.
No,
but
what would be the upside in that?
Let's see. Ford Motor Company says, somebody just sent me the link. I wasn't familiar with it. Ford to drop AM radio from all new consumer vehicles. Ford Motor Company says they plan to end the use of AM radios in their gas and electric consumer vehicles starting next year. The company confirmed its plans to the Detroit Free Press. Quote, "We are transitioning from AM radio for most new and updated 2024 models. A majority of United States AM stations, as well as a number of countries and automakers globally, are modernizing radio by offering internet streaming through mobile apps, FM, digital, and satellite radio options. Ford will continue to offer these alternatives for customers to hear their favorite AM radio music, news, and podcasts as we remove amplitude modulation." Ah, the definition of AM. I never knew that. From most new and updated models we bring to market. The Ford spokesperson told the Detroit Free Press that commercial vehicles will not be affected due to language within a long-standing contract. Earlier this month, New Jersey Representative Doug, is it Gottheimer?
Yeah, it's Gottheimer.
Wrote to all major manufacturers asking them to reconsider their decision, saying AM radio is the backbone behind the country's national public warning system.
That is correct. That's why KMX is 50,000 watts. They had a bunch of stations all over the country strategically placed with big signals so that if they needed to get an emergency watch out to the whole country, they could call 5 or 6 stations instead of 500 stations.
How about that?
And they could cover almost the entire country with the warning. That's what that was all about. And KMX was one of those stations that was supposed to alert the entire Midwest. Why you would want to do that? Just to anger people?
Well, I don't think that's
get
the
it.
reason.
They don't think they're going to.
But they didn't really give a reason in that article.
They don't think they're going to
they don't
anger
have a
people.
reason.
Ford's made some huge mistakes in the past. Ever drive a Maverick?
Yeah, I had one. My
Ford
sister,
Maverick?
My sister had one.
Oh, God.
What was the deal with the Maverick, bro?
Just horrendous car. We had that growing up. It's one of my dad's company cars. Oh, my
is that
goodness.
right?
Yes.
FM stations don't have a monthly test that goes off.
It's not about testing your signal. It's about having.
But the emergency
certain
broadcast
stations.
system, that's a test in case they ever need it. But
They
don't
can do it
FM have
too.
that?
Yeah, but they can't reach the amount of people that station with a 50,000
Well,
watt.
most
signal
FMs have
can
100,000.
Well, I guess they still, nonetheless, they don't have the reach that some of these powerful AM stations have.
Doug, this Ford Maverick from like 1970 looks pretty sweet.
It wasn't sweet.
They weren't bad looking. They're kind of like lemons.
From the 618, there is an issue with AM radios and some electric cars. There's some interference issues. That's from the 618. I've never heard that.
That would make more sense to me, that it's
Yeah,
getting
there's
in the
gotta
way
be a
of
reason.
electric car. You wouldn't just want to anger a bunch of the population. I like a simple radio. I don't want to have to look down off the road for 15 seconds to tune the radio station. A lot of them now you gotta swipe this way and swipe that way and go searching for the station. I want to be able to do it without looking.
Yeah, like the old days, the Maverick had push buttons.
Yeah, and the Pinto, that would blow up if you ever got rear-ended.
Todd Reesing says the new batteries that they put in electric cars block the AM signal. So that's what Todd Reesing says. And then Eric in the Central West End, who I know works in the automotive industry, says with the market shifting to electric vehicles are not able to carry the AM frequency. Huh. Well, I guess there's the reason. How come that wasn't covered in the article about it? You would think that they would have Teslas do not have AM radio. That's from Junior, the Juice Man.
So if you wanted to listen to a Cardinal game, you'd have to stream it?
The Cardinals are on a different station that's on FM as well.
You suppose that's why they're doing that? Must be.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But aren't there other companies doing electric cars that haven't done that? Like Chevy and...
I don't know.
Ford just might be the first one, and that's why it's getting national attention. But I hadn't heard of it until this gentleman texted in.
Luckily, we went to HD2.
That's right.
Yeah. Not our problem. No one can hear us at all.
Ever.
Hey, Tim, I retrofitted. Nice read on my part. Hey, Tim, I retrofitted our fleet of service trucks with HD2 simply because you, and you alone, spearheaded a change from AM to HD2. Doug, that's from my member guest partner, the Warson Woods Wacko, who
I
has
thought
made
Iggy
it
was
clear.
your member guest partner.
No. This is at a different establishment.
You upgraded?
I was the
Iggy.
invitee. I'm the 2023 member guest whore.
Oh.
I'll be playing in member guests. I've already played in one. Played horribly. I doubt I'll be invited back to that one.
Yeah.
I've got another one coming up. So I'll show up at anybody's member guest. And right now, as a 5, Doug, I'm a value play.
Are you?
Kind of like when we saw Brooks Koepka at 7,600. Said, hey, he might be terrible, but he's one of the only guys in the 7s who can actually win the Masties. So you gotta allocate some dollars to him. You know.
Oh, okay.
A buddy of mine put a decent amount of money on him, and I think he was plus 10,000 to win. Iggy, isn't that kind of nuts? I think people allowed emotion on Live to frame how they played what it was strategic when it comes to daily fantasy and betting. I really do, and I saw that as an advantage, which is one of the reasons why I put Na on there. In addition to a lot of P. Reed, who I don't like, but you know, Koepka, Dustin Johnson. I feel like there's another one. Oh, Cam Smith. I watching Cam Smith's interview, I just felt like he knew he wasn't right, and that's why I didn't play Cam Smith. I faded him, but Doug never let emotion get in the way of business.
Of selecting your DraftKings golf team. Okay.
I know a lot of people don't watch Live Golf, but I did watch it last week. And if you believe what he said, you have no problem playing him. He said, look, he told Greg Norman, he goes, I'm back. He said, I have no pain anymore. I can swing the club freely. I don't worry about anything. I'm 100% pain-free, which I hadn't been for a long time. And he looked yesterday, looked just like it. I mean, he looked like the old Brooks Koepka yesterday. So if you watched it and believe that I'm 100%, I don't have any more pain, the injuries are healed, I'm good to go, then that's the Brooks Koepka we're used to seeing.
He hit 15 out of 18 greens yesterday, and one of the ones he missed, and one of his only bogeys, was on the back 9 on, Doug, was it on 13?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
15. I think it was on 13, where he, from that new tee box, which you have been very critical of on your blog, that he tried to cut that corner, and he pulled the drive, and he wound up bogeying it. But otherwise, 15 of 18 greens in regulation, which you're going to want to keep an eye on here over the next 3 or 4 days, whenever this thing is completed, is watching those greens in regulation numbers drop down, and the importance of the short game, and also the importance of carry off the tee. And so whether that will benefit a player like Spieth and his ridiculous short game, or Cameron Young and his ridiculous carry, is it going to be enough for Rory McIlroy, who obviously is once again behind the 8 ball after the first round? Plowhawks guy, Rory, is even par, meaning he's 7 back. And it's one thing if you're 7 back of one guy, especially if it would have been Hovland, who's had a little bit of Tony Finau, Ricky Fowler situations on Sundays. When you have Koepka and Rahm, both of whom are killers, that's a different deal than Hovland. And Hovland's struggles around the green, at least relative to his strokes gain numbers. So that is going to be real. Rory is going to have to go off and go mid-60s. But is he an early tee? Yeah, he's an early tee time today. So that's good for him.
Yeah.
Because he'll be out there before the weather's supposed to move into Augusta this afternoon. And Doug, I'll take a look at the forecast for you.
Okay.
In Augusta, this must be Augusta, Missouri. Because I think it's going to be in the 40s tomorrow. No, this is Augusta. Okay, so it's just going to drop, and it's just going to be raining supposedly 50+% all afternoon. And then tomorrow, a high of 52, low of 48 with 100% chance of rain. I think they might just try to get 36 holes in on Sunday because they don't want to have a Monday finish. They have not had a Monday finish since 1983. I mean, that's, what are we talking, 40 years?
Well, that's if they get today in, if it doesn't start raining this afternoon.
Well, guys are on the course now, but yeah, you're right. And that is a course, if you recall, when Tiger won, he had 2 other guys with him. Usually it's a 2-man pairing, but in order to get that thing in, they started early in the morning. Remember that? And so he won like at 1 in the afternoon as opposed to 5 or 6 in the afternoon. So it's a different set of circumstances. They will do whatever they can to get it done on Sunday. They do not want this to end on Monday, but tomorrow is a mess. And the cold is really a factor. Plus, there's 25-mile-an-hour gusts that are forecast as well. So, I mean, this thing is anarchy. If you want to throw just long shot bets, this is a great year to do it because all hell could break loose. At the same time, if John Rahm or Brooks Koepka continue to strike the ball like they have, conditions be damned, I don't know if anybody can realistically catch them. If John Rahm is on and he's already a couple strokes up on the field, minus Koepka and Hovland, who's going to chase him down? I mean, the man shot 7 under after 4-putting the first green for a double bogey.
Yeah, normally he would have been pissed off for 4 or 5 holes. But he said afterwards, he goes, yeah. Well, he said, I hit 3 good putts. It just didn't go in. He said the speed was fine. He says I had the read right. He said they were good putts. If they'd have been terrible putts, then I'd have been a little upset and worried that what's going on here. He said, but I hit the putts like I wanted to, so I wasn't worried about anything.
Tim, when you play in that member guest with the Warson Woods Wacko, just make sure you lock your doors when you go to that club. That's from Mr. Lex. Boy, Doug, is that known as
careful? Yeah.
Didn't know that was known as a bad area.
I think you would lock your doors at any club, though, wouldn't you? You ever go anywhere and not lock the doors now?
No.
Anywhere at all?
That's just not the way that it is.
No, except my old car, I just leave it unlocked with the keys in it.
With hopes of
hopes I might take it.
Burglary.
Put a sign on there. Take.
Tim, are you more of the Lana Rhodes of member guest players or Jenna Jameson? That's from the 314. Doug, I don't know what that means, but I guess you do.
Are you tatted up?
I have no ink.
Well, I guess you're not Jenna Jameson, right?
I don't think Jenna's got a lot of tats, does she?
She has that heartbreaker tattoo on her ass.
Ah.
And then didn't Lana Rhodes have, like, cherries on her ass?
She had a strawberry in her ass.
And then didn't she, like...
She did something to a strawberry.
Yeah, didn't she? She either inserted the strawberry...
Oh!
Nice.
Or the strawberry came... Well, I guess it had to eventually come out anyway. I just don't know if that was captured on video. Yeah, Jackson, you know the information?
Oh, I was just asking if that would be splashing.
Oh.
I'm asking
Iggy, that was covered on Biffin show.
I'm an expert.
I don't think it's splashing because she didn't like roll around in it. I think she put it somewhere.
You have to roll around in the food?
Yeah, you got to play with
Pretty
it.
vile.
Yeah, you got to play with it.
Like, would sitting on a pie be a splash?
Yeah, that's a splash.
I think that's right, Jackson.
All right. That's got to be just begging for some sort of infection.
Yeah, that's why
You're gonna get infected by
every girl that Biff asked that to said we stay away from the sweets because of the infections.
Yeah, you got to get sugar up in there?
Yeah.
You get a sugar infection?
Yeah, it'd be a yeast infection, I think.
KG in O-Town, who will be with us for 2 weeks, says, and I don't think I can say this word, even though you're using the past tense of the S word. And I'm going to err on the side of caution, so I will edit on the fly. She crapped out a strawberry. The video seems to have been scrubbed, so I'm told. That's from KG in O-Town.
Hopefully it was. How sick are these people? I mean, how utterly sick are they?
We don't kink shame, Doug.
I do. I absolutely do. And they deserve to be shamed.
Yeah, I knew what she did, but I wasn't going to say it because it's gross, and I don't know why she did it. Cause
what are we talking about? Lana?
Yeah. I mean,
So you did know that she crapped out?
Yeah,
a
I didn't know how
strawberry?
to say it. I said she inserted, but I just don't.
That's how Jackie handled it.
It was gross. I don't
She
know
just
why.
sealed up.
Oh.
And then that was so much fun. I'm gonna put a strawberry on my ass. That's her.
Not these
That's her
people.
tattoo.
Sickos.
God thank the engineer that gave us the Plowsy Twitter cam so we know what to monitor his account for a hot take. Doug, that's from Uncle Cucker. What does that mean?
I don't know. The camera is
Your camera
catching-
on YouTube, you can see your hot takes go up?
I guess, yeah. My computer is.
I thought you didn't want your monitor on there.
At this point, I don't care
Your
anymore.
your camera's way off.
What do you mean?
All right, I'm coming in.
Your head's barely
Yeah,
in the
you are.
shot.
You're in what we call in the television industry the lower third.
Yeah.
Iggy's perfectly centered. Doug is perfectly centered. I'm kind of on a wide angle versus Doug.
The
and
eye-
Plowhawk, you're like in the lower third.
The eyes of the subject are supposed to be 2/3 of the way up the screen.
KOMU, brother.
Dude, I got to tell you this. One time I knew I didn't want to do TV or camera work, but in college you had to do it.
Well, sure
And so I
you
was
did.
doing like, just some natural beauty of the campus on the rooftop of our journalism building. And for 20 minutes it was all black. I couldn't see anything, and it was a beautiful day. So I called my professor up, and the lens cap was still on. I'm not kidding.
Oh, God.
At
That happened to you with your leader interview?
By the way, I'm a senior at this point. Very much so involved in the day-to-day.
Now,
That's beautiful.
let me
And
see
my
where it's
red-
God, Jackson,
the red
you already made a
tops.
change?
Still too low.
Still too low. I
Raise
would
it
agree
up.
with that.
It's too low. 2/3 of the way up.
Can you
That's where the
tighten
eye
on me?
level
Because the
goes.
ladies want to use their Hitachi magic wand to my baby blues and fantasize of the work I can do. That's what the ladies want.
Do you imagine if listeners had the
Well,
capability?
too fat to kayaks in the chat.
If you had the capability of like zooming in, like as listeners would, oh.
It's hot. I like the way we
That's
look.
better.
I
It's
like
not high
the way
enough,
we
but
feel.
it's better.
Yeah, we're making strides here today. I think there's a lot of buzz about this show now in the community.
Yeah, well.
Well, look at Jackson. There's another.
See, this looks good, right?
Yeah, that looks good. Now,
You do
Plow,
watch
going up
TV
to-
at times, right? You ever see someone's head right at the bottom of the frame? Do you ever
I
see that
do.
anywhere?
Keisha Gray did a scene with 7 other guys, and her head was above the frame. Then it like got a bob up like she was like a buoy.
I think that would be hilarious to try that on a newscast where you're just seeing like
Just the
like,
head,
breastbone.
and everything else is head
and all.
If you would
never
watch
see
KMU
that?
Weekend Newscast, you'd see a lot of lower third
I would
appearances.
love-
There's Jackson again.
I'd love to see like
It's
the boom
okay.
mics and like the the lights.
Yeah.
How much more do you want in town, Doug?
Well, it should go another inch or two, probably.
Oh.
His eyes right now are in the middle of the screen. It should be in the top. His eyes should be in the top third of the screen.
You talking about mine? Because I have a lopsided head, so one of my eyes could be in the top third, and the other one could be in like the middle. It's a mess.
Can you imagine we just can't center this
We
guy?
can't center this guy. His head's too effing lopsided.
We could, I suppose, raise the chair.
I can't.
I'm
Can't
already
share it.
sitting on 3 phone books. Oh yeah, I am tighter now. Oh, look at
Yeah,
the zoom in.
that's better.
Oh, hey diddle diddle in the central corridor, ladies. Right after you get back from the Starbucks in Frontenac with those white Range Rovers and you get the fillers, it's time to play Hey Diddle Diddle.
Sunglasses on, even though it's like overcast.
That's right. Lululemon and a Hitachi magic wand, and the morning is ready. Let's see what we got here. Get off your damn phone, Iggy. That's from the Hunchback of Von Castle. Iggy just did like he was the Fonz, like, hey.
That's what every soccer player does. Constantly raising both arms to, what? Call it. What's that? Every
that.
player. Uh-huh.
Speaking of Fonz, that shirt never went over, did it?
What would that
TMA.
I forgot.
No.
I think it would have been perfect.
It's a summer shirt, so I think we could make that this year.
The show is too old for most people to know the reference, I think.
So
Well, so is a big
we bring it
big
back.
item.
We bring it back. TMA.
Imagine peacocking around with that shirt at a private club.
Well, you're talking now a show that was on in the early 70s, right? We're going back 50 years.
Was it early 70s? I thought it was late 70s.
Yeah, it was
early 70s.
Everybody knows the
early to
Fonz.
mid 70s.
Hank Winkler's still acting.
I can't believe he was the Fonz.
So he was. Did the ladies love his style? Because he kind of seems like
he was a greaser, you know. The
I know, but
leather
I know in the
jacket wearing.
show they did, but like in real life, he's a very down to earth,
yeah.
seemingly
Completely different
Right,
type of person than that character.
Interviewed him. He's a big Gaga
Yeah.
fan as well.
So you interviewed Henry Winkler and talked to Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Oh,
God Almighty! It's like Mad Libs. How did that happen?
I don't know what we were. I think we were talking about when I met her or something.
You got an interview with Henry Winkler and began talking about how you met Lady Gaga.
I want no part of your pursuit of Gaga.
I don't care who I talk to. I'm always making it about myself.
Clip that off.
Yeah, that much is true.
He was a very nice guy. He was very, very down to earth.
Yeah.
Well, there is a new leader at Augusta National, and he is a member of the Live Golf Tour, presented to you by Darren Atkins. His name is Brooks Koepka, and he is 1 under par today after birdieing the second golf hole, Doug, and he is 8 under. Brooks Koepka, your leader at Augusta National.
And
Phil Mickelson is 1 under, and he's 2 under for the tournament.
I hope he wins.
Koepka looked locked in yesterday. Like,
his
it was he's
striking.
Yeah, he's in beast mode.
Sick. Him and Rahm, man, that could be one hell of a showdown.
Didn't Freddie end up 1 under yesterday?
Couples was 1 under.
Yeah.
You see that he didn't yell 4 in that video going around?
Oh, I didn't see it.
He completely shanked it right and knew it was going into a heaping crowd of people and just turned around and didn't say 4, and people were pissed about it. I thought it was kind of funny looking at the video of it. He just almost purposefully didn't say 4.
I wonder if fans should wear helmets.
You guys got to have head on a swivel. I realize yelling 4 is very common, and you should.
But what usually happens is people then turn around and look up, like, what? Which is the exact opposite of what
I'm in
you should
cover
do.
mode. I'm in cover mode.
You go down when you...
I usually don't go down. I would have my head covered.
Do you?
Yeah.
You get a free glove out of it, an autographed glove if it hits you.
I want more than that.
Yeah,
Give me your 9-iron right now.
Take a golf ball to the orbital bone? I don't want a glove in return.
Good morning. I listened to the program for the bleeding edge of pop culture takes and references. This region is lousy with Fonzie T-shirts. That's from Kevin's brother Jack, and then his last name is Demoff. How about that, Doug? Is this region lousy with Henry Winkler?
He's great in Barry. You guys should watch Barry.
Yeah, I think he won an Emmy for that.
Yeah, he's really good in
He's so good in Waterboy.
Yeah, he was the head coach, wasn't he?
Head coach, man.
Mr. Lick says, and Brooks didn't even cheat yesterday either, unlike the PGA Tour players. That's from Mr. Licks. He is a big live guy, Mr. Licks. This would be huge for the Plowhawk and Mr. Licks, Doug.
Sure it would.
If Brooks Koepka or a live player could win.
I'd like to see him win.
I'd be entertained by it. That's what I said at the beginning of the week. I said, Plowhawk and I are united on this. It would be entertaining if a live player won. The thing with Koepka is, I think, unlike a Preed or Sergio, I don't think people necessarily on the tour. I think fans may dislike Koepka, but I think on the tour they're fine with him. You know, like Rory and him played a practice round a couple days ago, and also he's won 4 majors, so his game is respected.
Wouldn't you love to see Koepka beat Rahm and see Brandel Chambly disintegrate just like Iggy's car did on the highway?
If Koepka beat Rory,
wheels fell off
that
the
would
axles.
be. I mean, again, if Phil Mickelson, he birdied 1,
Yeah.
so therefore he's very likely, he should anyway. He birdied 2 yesterday after hitting it. He hit driver off the deck from the Pine Needles on a par 5 on his second shot. Driver off the deck from the Pine Needles.
And got it within about 50 yards.
And that's exactly right. And he hit 223 or 233 yards off the deck from the Pine Needles through a window and then got up and down for birdie. I mean, he was a little more alive yesterday. He was sad. And he's talked about how he's lost 25 pounds. And he was asked how, and he said, I just don't eat anymore. There's a good answer.
Yeah,
Plowhawk, you maintain the weight, but you eat more than anybody.
Very true. Yeah, Mickelson looked good yesterday.
Now, why do you say it in that way?
I'm just saying I like that. I at least want a lot of the live players to make the weekend. Now, I don't want it to be live heavy up top. I'd like to have, Rahm or Rory in there against a live player just because it's so divided, and I think that'd be fun.
Rory's going to have to mount a big Sunday charge to be relevant, and he'll have the opportunity going out this afternoon. You might have the guys who finished yesterday morning not play again, possibly until Sunday. I mean, that's a possibility. If the rain is rough this afternoon and if they just call off tomorrow, that means guys would have finished around noon and then not tee off again until Sunday. And that's a possibility. I don't know if it's a probability, but it's a possibility. Koepka literally cheated, Licks. Did you not see the story about his caddy telling Woodland's caddy what he hit into 15 before Woodland's shot? That's illegal. That's from the horny banker.
But it doesn't. It seems like the only people that care about it are fans. Like obviously Woodland and his caddy are denying it. I don't really see any other players coming out about it. Morikawa didn't
since it's a two-stroke penalty, Morikawa didn't cheat.
He didn't cheat. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, none of that happened.
Koepka and his caddy, they, by the letter of the law, did cheat. But the weird thing that, and Paul McGinley, who, again, I realize he's not a household name for probably 90% of the audience, but he captained the Ryder Cup team for Europe in 14, I think. He beat Furyk in the Ryder Cup when Europe beat the U.S. in 2002 and clinched the Ryder Cup for him. He was saying last night at Golf Channel, he goes, it's an awkward situation. He goes, but the truth is everybody does it. He goes, I know it's a rule. He goes, but everybody does it. And so that's why this is a weird spot. He goes, now maybe this getting this much attention and the fact that it happened at Augusta and he obviously told him it was a 5-iron, maybe now people will enforce the rule. But I don't think that they wanted to penalize Brooks Koepka 2 strokes, which could seriously be substantial along the way with this thing if it's something that everybody does. So
see, I don't get him saying that, though. I mean, he would know. He's a player. But if everybody does it, then you would think somebody would say something, say it's a penalty. You ask me, when I hit, that's a penalty. You never hear it called. Well, if it happens all the time.
So if Koepka were to admit it, then he would have lost 2 strokes.
Yeah, but I don't know why. He says we do it all the time.
McGinley said that.
Yeah, but
What's the penalty? Asking what he hit or telling what you hit?
Telling.
No, if you ask, it's a penalty. I think a player can take a shot and go, God, I probably shouldn't hit that 5-iron. That's not a penalty.
I wouldn't think so.
No, but if a player asks, what did you hit, or a caddy asks, what did he hit, that's the penalty.
Just the asking.
But it's not a penalty and look in the like you said, Iggy, look in the opposing player's bag.
No, you can do that.
But okay, are we splitting hairs here with that rule?
Yeah,
so you can look in the bag and see what club is missing, but you can't simply skip a step and ask the caddy what. I don't know. It seems a little petty.
Yeah,
advice.
Call it.
It's advice. It's
Yeah, it really doesn't make any sense. You're allowed to do that, but you can't ask. It's easier to ask than go look in somebody's bag.
Mr. Licks is just responding. A horny banker sounds like Mr. Licks and horny banker might be a new war. And he wrote in caps, Doug. So should that mean should I scream?
Yeah,
it? Okay. I'm talking about moving your ball on the green, you PGA fanboy. Why don't you go suck Jay Monahan's fat? Jay Monahan isn't really heavy, is he?
I don't know what he looks like.
Well, who's calling who out because it wasn't a penalty?
Horny banker.
Horny banker is calling out Mr. Licks and the Live Tour.
I'm glad they didn't call a 2-stroke penalty. Now it seemed like it doesn't matter. It looked like Koepka just is
now that I'm aware, number one, I wasn't aware it was a penalty until I was driving home last night from the Blues game, and then number 2, when I got back to my place and was watching live from the Masters and saw McGinley, and it was kind of awkward for him. He goes, listen, he goes, if you asked every caddy hand over their heart whether or not they have told another caddy what their player just hit, he goes, there's not one caddy out there who would say that they haven't done that. He goes, it's just common. He goes, now we know it's breaking the rules, but it's a different version of breaking the rules than moving your ball and, he goes, so it's a weird spot. He goes, now if they really want to start calling it, then guys will stop doing it, but they haven't ever called it.
No, and the only way I knew it was a penalty is it happened once on the LPGA when I was caddying, and we were playing. I forgot who we were playing. When you're caddying for the lower echelon of the LPGA who don't have their own caddies, usually playing with other players that don't have caddies, at least the first 2 rounds, and we were playing against somebody whose caddy was like one of the members' kids, and came over and asked me, "What did she hit?" And Erica heard it, and Erica said, you can't ask that. I'm not going to say anything, but it's a penalty, so just so you know, you can't ask that.
I had never heard that.
That's the only way I knew, because she said it.
I never heard, because I'll just BS with guys. Because I know that, at least historically, Jackson and I will play all the time, because I'm in awe of how Jackson will be hitting the ball further soon, properly, I guess would be the better way to say it. But we'll always talk about it. But if you're in a real competition, it's a penalty. I guess theoretically it's a penalty. I don't know. I don't know when these things are. I mean, usually, the white stakes are the white stakes, whether you're playing a competition or you're, just out there keeping a score.
I don't think that should be a penalty at all.
Me either.
The telling the.
Yeah. In baseball, you're going to say, what, is he swinging a 33-inch bat or 34-inch? Wow, that's going to give it away.
I agree with you. Now, by the letter of the law, it is a rule as of right now, but I agree with you guys. Listen up, St. Louis. The Kawasaki Good Times Demo Tour is coming to Big St. Charles Motorsports a week from today and next Saturday, April 15th. The Good Times Demo Tour is bringing its semi with over a dozen different demo models for you to test ride. Find out which Kawasaki is right for you. In addition to the factory incentives, every demo rider is eligible for Kawi Cash, which could save you up to $500. To ride, you must be 18 years of age, have proof of a valid motorcycle endorsement, and pass a breathalyzer. Be sure to bring your riding gear, helmets, glasses, jacket, pants, gloves, closed-toed shoes. For full event details, check out the Big St. Charles Motorsports Facebook page. Don't miss out on this free event. Mark your calendars, and we'll see you April 14th and April 15th. Contact dealer for details. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet and eye protection. On incentives and rebates, model and year exclusions apply. Subject to change without notice. Offer available on approved purchases of select new unregistered Kawasaki vehicles. Offer valid for a limited time only. Kawasaki Motors Corp. USA does not offer or extend credit and does not review or make any determination of the credit worthiness of other qualifications of any applicant for credit. Big St. Charles Motorsports. James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. Go online right now, and you will see 309 5-star reviews for James Carlton and the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. This one was written by Greg Place 3 months ago. He wrote, has been the most helpful support system working with me at State Farm. Whether it's my car, my property, or quick questions, she has me covered the whole way. I'm quick to recommend James Carlton State Farm due to Stephanie, and really hope she gets the appreciation she deserves. You're on the nice list every year, Stephanie. Thank you. That is from Greg Place. Stephanie is one of the many people who work at James Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. He has a large staff to make sure you get the customer service you deserve. There is a difference in insurance agencies. There is. You wouldn't just go to any restaurant. You go to the best restaurant when you want to make sure you take care of yourself and your family. Go to James Carlton at the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800. Send your emails in for our design, air, heating, and cooling. Email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. And we will have that coming your way at 9:45. We close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Appliance discounters, 8 o'clock hour next on the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios. KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Engineer Design Facilities is moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facilities service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at theedfgroup.com.
Okay.
Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and I am thrilled to have new clients on board Longo Biggs Injury Law. CD Longo and Doug Biggs. And Doug, the thing I want our audience to know is that you guys are local and you guys are different. Tell our audience how you're different.
Yeah, Tim, both CD and I are from St. Louis area, born and raised in the South City area or the South County area, and we are also thrilled to be part of the TMA family now. If anyone signs up with us for an injury case, their case is treated like they are family. We get to know you, we get to know the ins and outs of your case, and make sure we represent you like you are part of our family. We're not like one of the large firms in the area who might take your case and just treat you like another number or another file. You'll get our personal attention. It's either CD and I who will handle your case directly. And if you are injured in an accident, please remember us. You can visit us at longobiggs.com, and that's Biggs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. The average credit card interest rate is over 24%, the highest number in over 30 years. And with inflation skyrocketing, people are taking on more debt just to get by. But if you're a homeowner, you shouldn't have to live like this. It's time to put your equity to work for you with a simple cash-out refinance. Our average client received over $54,000 cash back at closing. It all starts now at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
White dude, Asian dude, bad friends. Comedians Andrew Santino and Bob Lee bring their Bad Friends podcast live to Stifel Theater on Friday, April 14th. Get your tickets now at livenation.com.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229. Or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
Test, 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 test. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame legends Kiss to the End of the Road tour. Yep, another farewell tour, October 25th at Enterprise Center. Tickets on sale Friday, April 7th at 10 a.m. Want to win tickets? Register on your TMA mobile app or at tmastl.com. KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. Now, back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
It's the Augusta National and the master of the game. Who wear that green coat on Sunday afternoon? Who walk that 18th fairway singing this tune? Your dogwoods and pines, they play on my mind like a song. Augusta, it's you that I love, it's you that I miss when I'm gone. Well, it's Watson, Byron Nelson, and Demerit, and Claire, and Sneed, and it's Amen's corner, and it's Hogan's perfect swing. It's Sarazen's double eagle at the 15th and 35, and the spirit of Clifford Roberts that keeps it alive. Your dogwoods and pines, they play on my mind like a song. Augusta, It's you that I love. It's you that I miss when I'm gone. It's the legions of Arnie's army and the golden bear's throngs. Wooden shafted legend, Bobby Jones.
The integrity.
My.
Oh, what a tune.
The video's pretty good.
How do you do, friends?
Oh, it's just so important. Damned important.
That's a good one.
You're a leader at Augusta National this morning where they're expecting rain this afternoon. Is Brooks Koepka of the Live Golf Tour, which is sponsored by Darren T. Atkins and Mr. P. Licks. Brooks Koepka leading. He is 1 under on the course today through 3, 8 under for the tournament. Gary Woodland, who won the U.S. Open a few years ago, is now tied with Jason Day and Cameron Young for second place, or should I say fourth, considering Hovland and Rahm are now in second place behind Koepka. Phil Mickelson is 1 under par, and he is currently playing the second hole, which is usually a birdie opportunity. And Sepp Straka, who is known on this program as the Bastard Sepp Straka, and who I put a lot of Sepp Straka on those rosters. He is 3 under par, 1 under for the day. Any other notables out there, Doug, you wanted to know about? I'll be happy to tell you Bryson's on your roster. He's at 4 over par, 2 over for the day.
Okay.
Bernhard Langer is at 1 over par, 4 over for the tournament. 2016 champion, courtesy of Jordan Spieth. Danny Willett is 4 over on the tournament. He's 1 over on the day. Cam Champ, who had a great Masters a year or two ago, is 2 over and 6 over for the tournament. And there is your update. Kevin Na still not feeling well. Will Zalatoris also WD'd, but it wasn't because he double bogeyed the first hole.
When did Willett win?
Oh, your mic's hot. Oh, it's hot. Wow. Okay.
When did Willett win? Sorry.
2016.
Was that a forgettable one?
Yes.
Oh, I would say it's one of the most memorable ones. Jordan Spieth was up by 5 strokes before he imploded on 12.
In that regard, yeah. It was more Spieth lost it than Willett won.
100%.
I would like to see Koepka win it and then recruit more players to go with him to the Live Tour.
Wow, you're going plow hawking.
Yeah, I think that might be.
You and Mr. Licks and the Plowhawk are going to form a federation.
What's funny is I saw a tweet, and I don't know if this is they're even actually doing this, but Kevin Na withdrew, but they're saying he may have to stay just in case Koepka or one of the Live guys wins, because everybody has to be on 18, like Greg Norman said. How do you like to withdraw the first day and have to stay there 3 more days?
Or 4 more days, as the case might be.
The Live guys are going to have a party if one of them wins?
I don't know if
that's what Norman said.
Well, if it's one of their teammates, do they have to do the champagne pop thing?
Oh, man.
You know, when I saw Koepka yesterday wearing his Nike, he wasn't wearing his Live thing, so I think somebody said it was, one of the players said, well, it's in our contract, we have to wear them. He wasn't wearing his.
Current contracts will be played out until they're over.
What I'm saying is that, I don't know if it was Cam Smith or somebody said it's like in our contract we have to wear these shirts, but Koepka had a Nike shirt on. He didn't have his Live thing on.
If you have a current contract that's still active.
Jackson's getting frustrated.
So he doesn't have a contract anymore?
Who?
Koepka?
No, he does. That's why he's wearing it. Until that runs out.
You're talking about the Nike contract?
Correct, sir.
Come on, let's get it straight.
Okay, but they do have Live contracts too.
Right, but in the Live contract, the stipulation is that if you have current contracts personally, not with your team, personally, you can wear those until they run out.
Okay.
That's why Cam Smith still wears the Penguin stuff.
All right, I didn't know you were talking about his Nike.
And then if Nike wants to sponsor whatever ridiculous name Brooks's team is,
whoa, now you're going to be on the target of Mr. Licks.
Then they can sponsor that entire team, and they can all wear Nike.
Okay. Well, there's not going to be 18 players behind 18th green, like Norman said. Half of them didn't even know he said that. He said, nobody asked me.
Okay. I just don't know that
I don't
it
believe
matters
Kevin
that much.
Na is sitting around for 3 or 4 days in the hopes one of his players wins.
I don't think the average guy watching on TV really cares that much.
You kind of would be pissed if Kevin Na wasn't there, though.
Give him a rip.
I'm sure if Brooks win, he'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Where the hell's Na? Anybody see Na?
You know who'll be out there quick, fast, in a hurry if Brooks wins? Na Sims.
Yeah.
Nuh Sims will be on the green, maybe in his backswing.
And I don't mind it.
You don't mind Nuh Sims?
No, unless she posts a lot of her in thongs, too.
Oh, you've never worn thong underwear, have you, Iggy?
No.
Good morning. What's with the fan page dorks complaining that there's advertisements being played mid-Segi? You know, the thing that helps keep the show they're listening around. Reference, and then he gives the person's name, post from last night. Sorry if this has been discussed. I'm PLTDing. That's from Iggy's first victim.
I can address that.
Jackson would like to address it, Doug. You wanted to, but Jackson would prefer to.
I didn't know that it needed addressing.
I'm going to issue an apology.
Oh, my gosh.
To the listening audience.
This is a show that usually doesn't have much accountability.
I'm going to take accountability because we are putting what they call mid-roll advertisements in our podcast segments.
Doug, it's a Hubbard initiative.
Yes. Okay. And so I try my damnedest to put them in spots where one topic ends and another begins so that it's not in the middle of a conversation. I believe yesterday I made a bad mistake and misplaced it, and it might have been kind of awkward for that. I truly apologize because I know
I'd love to hear it. Like it was just placed randomly, or...
I went back and listened, and it's like it was right before a design air read, and you guys were talking a little about the weather, and I thought I saw a little break, and I placed it, but it was a poor placement.
Doug, was it a poor placement?
Seems like it really was.
And I apologize because I know that affects the listening experience, and I don't want to compromise the listening experience for our wonderful listeners. So I truly apologize, and I will be better going forward.
Yeah, and I appreciate you letting people know what was going on that, Jackson. I'll say this. I think our audience, and I think it's probably just because of where we've been before here, has a better understanding of the radio business than most audiences, just because of the nature of the show's existence has been solely with, like I said, supporting the sponsors. So it's a different state. So yesterday in the sales meeting, it was Doug, they call it a cluster-wide meeting.
Do they really?
Yeah, cluster, because when you have the 5 stations here in TMA, that's the Hubbard Radio St. Louis cluster. And so all of the salespeople were in there, and our general sales manager, and she's also the general sales manager for 101 ESPN, Kelly Hanna, said, look at this live read on TMA, and this is why advertising on TMA has the return on investment for the advertisers that it does. And she plays the first Glenn Betts Jewelers live read that we did on YouTube. And so the entire, and I don't know how many people you think were in that room yesterday, Jackson?
22.
I think that's a nice number. Or sitting there watching our show, which I got to tell you, Doug, is an uncomfortable thing.
I bet it was.
For those of us involved with it, it really is holding up the mirror to something that I think it's like 4 guys in a room talking right now.
You try to get under the desk or something? Excuse me, I got to leave.
And but they, number one, they said, wow, we didn't know that we do 5-minute live reads, but also said the manner with which the conversation organically goes along with the sponsors is the reason why the advertising campaigns work and why you hear so many new sponsors, number one, but so many sponsors who've been around for so long. But that's also because our audience, which of course loves to rip our asses, at times does indeed go out of their way to support the advertisers, and that's the name of the game. And so while I understand, and that's why I'm glad Jackson explained what happened with that, because there is a new, this is at all the Hubbard stations where they're doing mid-rolls, but Jackson, in addition to his other responsibilities, now goes in and finds a spot in which the conversation is transitioning. And that rarely happens on this show, because we usually stay on one topic, for an hour, and then we go to a new topic in the second hour. And that's where he will insert the ad. So it flows more naturally. So anyway, there's a little radio behind the scenes for you. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. I don't know.
No, who could know?
I don't know.
No.
That's why I had to do that when I was doing your podcast. You'd have like 5 sponsors. You'd have to listen and wait till...
That's how I did it back then.
Yeah, wait till the question was over, and okay, did he go to a new topic? And if it's a new topic, I'll wait till the answer's over, and then you put one there, Yeah, I just got tired of doing it, so I said, I'm not doing this anymore.
I you get tired of a lot of things that involve work.
I got to listen to the whole podcast, and I quit.
Let's see. Hey, Tim, if you're asking Plowsy to play the podcast clip from yesterday with the new ad from Jackson, Plowsy ain't doing it. He's death scrolling Twitter. That's from the Kansas City Gray Sexual. What's death scrolling mean?
I don't know.
I mean, I have multiple. I'm scrolling, clip that off in Adobe for drop, but like, you think it's just so easy. I type in a keyword and there it is, all cut and edited to where I can just play it.
It's not like that. These people have no idea what you go through.
Well, I don't know if it's that bad. You sound like I just went through 10 hours of open heart surgery. That's not necessarily the case, but I can't queue it up in here live to try to find the spot. Like, Jackson, you with me? It's just it's hard to edit live on radio when I can't hear anything.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Shocker, the Virgin screwed something up. Again, have sex. Life gets easier after your release. And then it gets a little more graphic. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
Without Jackson,
I can't keep track of who's in alliances anymore. So Warson Woods Wacko's high on the Plowhawk.
Love the guy, yeah.
Mr. Licks is also high on the Plowhawk, but for live golf reasons.
Which I respect.
And Warson Woods Wacko's down on Jackson.
What did I do to him?
I don't know. He just told you to go have sex.
That was nice of him, though.
Yeah.
What was nice about it?
Nice sentiment, I guess.
He wants you to have a release.
He's
He
pulling
needs
for
to
you.
stop worrying about me, baby.
Oh, don't say baby.
I'm just fine.
It is actually clipped and edited on the post. That's from Todd Reesing, who was sacked in the end zone at Arrowhead Stadium. So does that mean like on the fan page post? I don't know. Plowhawk could be.
I mean, I don't even know my Facebook login.
You can't figure it out?
It's for, dude, I have had Facebook for so long. It's for a Big D Atkins 69420 at yahoo.com. Not kidding. I'm not kidding. I was that immature. 69 and 420 was in it. That email doesn't even exist. So I can't try to sign in because...
So you can't get into Facebook anymore?
Well, I can on my app.
Oh.
But, like, I can't look at that email to get a confirmation email for a code to sign in. So, like, I can't sign in on a desktop.
Oh. Okay.
I've started writing mine down now. I've changed so many passwords. I've changed my DraftKings password like 8 times in the last 3 weeks. At home is fine. When I get on my phone here, I don't remember it. So I got to forget password, do it again. So I'm to the point, I'm just writing everything down in a book, and if I get, okay, here it is.
You have to.
They have an app where you can just remember one password, and that app gets you into all of your passwords.
Really?
Yeah. Because there's obviously a lot of passwords these days, so you can just hop onto that app. If all you need to do is remember one password.
But what if you forget that one password?
Well, then if you can't remember just one password, then maybe you weren't ready to have a password.
Madison creates a fake contact like Sergio or Pablo. And in that contact, she puts all of her passwords for each thing. So it's like it's in her contact list in her phone. She clicks on that contact and...
Well, I try to use the same one for all of them, but then there's some you got to use 10 characters.
That's a bad idea.
Lowercase, uppercase.
Change it after 3 months.
You know, an emoji. You got to use all this stuff. I just try to use the same one.
An emoji.
But then I go back and I change it. The one, I think it's our company one, where you go in and do your time card and all that stuff. That one, you can't use one you've already used. So I go back and I'll use this one. You've already used that 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 one. God, I don't have any more.
Yeah.
It's really a pain in the ass.
But Negril 111 opens up most of your stuff.
Well, that's my email.
Real talk. That trench coat looking in the back is concerning. Since when is it ever appropriate to wear a trench coat?
In April.
That's from glove blogger Tom Draven. Is it up again?
It's a wool
so
coat.
It's in the YouTube stream.
A trench coat is not a wool coat.
Would that be a duster? You got a duster there,
No,
bro?
it's not a duster either. Duster's not
Is it a
wool.
pea coat?
I think a
Yeah,
trench
it's kind of a pea coat. It's a pea coat with a little bit longer.
Yeah. Tim was wearing a pea coat
Making
last
it not a pea coat.
Yeah, it's a pea coat.
That's a trench. Once you get the
No.
tail, it's a trench. Tim wore a pea coat last night.
I think a
I
trench
did wear a
is.
pea coat. All the ladies were raving about
That's
it.
a trench coat.
So if it was a little bit longer to be a trench coat?
If it went down to
I don't know
your
what
ankles.
There's I think is that called a top coat? I think that's what it's called.
I think you're right.
Maybe.
A top coat and hat.
So Iggy's top coat is hanging
Yeah,
over
it's
his
not a trench coat.
Coat. I don't like that at all.
A trench coat is kind of pervy sounding.
But that's what that is.
With a pocket full of batteries.
Yeah, but then
It's
you
hung up there. It just looks like somebody's going to go out for some serious business.
when
here
you
in a minute.
expose yourself in public, you're usually wearing a trench coat. That's not a trench coat.
It is. It's a hybrid top coat, trench coat.
No, Tim's right. It's a top coat / pea coat.
Well, wouldn't
It's not a
anything be a
peacoat,
top coat?
Pardon me?
Goes on top of your clothes. Wouldn't any coat technically be a top coat?
I don't know. I own 2 coats, that and a leather jacket. Now I own a few, like, spring things, like, you know, I wouldn't call it a windbreaker, but like a polo and a Nautica kind of like jacket.
What about the puffer?
Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah, don't
And
forget that. Don't sleep on that one.
I got a Levi's jacket too that I never wear.
Like a jean jacket?
No, it's like a suede jacket. It's called a.
Don't get wet.
No, there's a word for it. Not fupa.
Top coat?
Not fupa.
Fupa.
It's similar to that. It's similar to a.
Do you have any fupa coats available?
I forgot what it's
Might be the name of this segment.
No, it's a. I said it was close. It's a Sherpa. Sherpa. It's close to fupa.
Mark Hanna is a life Sherpa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is a Sherpa jacket. Whatever a Sherpa is, it's a Sherpa.
It's that fur. It's like what Rocchio wears. He has a jean jacket with like fur. That kind of a Sherpa.
Okay.
Oh, really?
I got a Levi Sherpa.
Well, with all your coats, you could probably put your closet up against any one of the listeners.
Pretty much, yeah.
Tim, in these cluster meetings, are they going to start adding new directives based on what TMA is doing? I wonder if the other shows will start including sexual harassment of the co-hosts and listeners who want to meet up in a local Dunkin' Donuts to either throw hands or exchange profit and loss statements, or pull dementia-infused geriatrics from the home and put them on the air. Thanks, that's from Scissor Me Timbers.
Oh.
We do have a good business model.
Doug, what is our business
As long
model?
as you don't like making a lot of money.
Levi, Nautica, Polo, trench coats, Missy Elliott puffy coat. So damn preppy. That's from the Dogtown Astro fan.
Well, I don't know about preppy. It's not a Hoosier.
Puffers are in. Everyone who's anyone has a puffer.
Oh, they are.
No, it looks like he's a baked potato when he wears that thing.
Guys, why when Iggy talks about fashion does it always sound like some sort of conversation from South County Mall food court circa 96? It's from Arbor Day.
Explain yourself.
Arbor Day, call in 636-900-4TMA. That's how you can explain yourself. KG in O-Town, who's going to be working with us for 2 weeks starting next Thursday, said that was captivating. Hey, Plowsy, will you list your coats too? That's KG in O-Town.
I brought my old man coat, which is it's a pretty standard coat.
Sure it is.
Yeah, and then I have I also am blessed to have a pea coat. It currently has Scentsy wax on it from our move, so I got to take that to the dry cleaner.
What is Scentsy wax?
You know where like you warm up like the smelly wax. When we are moving, it melted onto my pea coat. I have to take that to the dry
Why would you
cleaner.
warm up wax?
Well, it's like an alternative to a candle, Doug. This is definitely not a part of the story, but I appreciate explaining Scentsy to you.
You put that in the diffuser.
I was just talked down to.
Yeah, I heard it.
There's a burning wax.
I heard it.
And then I have a Carhartt coat as well, waterproof for like hiking.
Car coat. That's another name. That's a car coat.
Now I guess Warson Woods Wacko is offering Jackson a part of the stable. Virgin, when are we going to put licks in that jealous loser KG in O-Town, which stands for OMG, I like men and wish I was Iggy, and Mr. Licks, who is currently making his packing list for his August trip to Destin, a.k.a. 30A. Let's take them out for the Megan Meyer Foundation. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
A lot of words, not a lot of periods.
Man, that's a run on.
But I'm always ready. I've got to stop responding to the name Virgin. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, don't do it anymore.
I'm just not going to respond
No,
if
you
that's how I'm
shouldn't.
addressed. But I will. I'm down. I love both KG and O-Town. I guess theoretically I love Licks, so.
Arbor Day has issued his explanation. He chose not to call in. My explanation is that you think it's high fashion to dress like you're walking the runway at the Melville Fall Winter Fashion Show.
Oh.
You're 65. Stop dressing like Bubba Sparks. That's from Arbor Day.
Well, what do you dress like when you're 65? What's the outfit of choice when you're 65?
Sweaters.
You want me to wear the grandpa neck huggers?
Neck huggers?
Yeah, like,
Now, what are those?
they're the ones that pull up to your like chest.
Corduroys.
Neck huggers.
Those are neck. I call them neck huggers.
That's what they're called? Neck huggers?
Yeah. Like, back in my day, girls wore the hip huggers where,
high-waisted.
yeah, a lot of their
Those are back.
butt crack was hanging out.
Oh.
But the old people would call them neck huggers. Yeah, what does a 65-year-old person wear? I mean,
Sweaters.
I think I'm still fairly fashionable.
Oh, do you?
I don't go out looking like crap. I mean, I don't come to work in jeans, gym shorts, and a T-shirt.
Boy, that hit right close to home.
Really did. I'm wearing jeans right now.
Wear sweatpants every day.
Yeah, I don't though. That's casual. I don't usually come to work casual. I usually dress fairly nice.
What you're wearing now? You're wearing a hoodie.
Yes, nice pair of pants, nice pair of shoes.
You often wear slippers to work. You often wear big, fuzzy slippers.
Yeah, but those are fashionable.
Are
they? Slippers aren't fashionable.
Yeah, they're Nikes.
You're wearing a sweatshirt.
They say Nike on them.
They're not Nike.
Well, yeah, it's got a swoosh on it.
I think sweatshirt and tennis shoes. I think this is
I think this is a fashionable sweatshirt.
It's still casual.
The Keishi sweatshirt is all right. I'm not saying I come to work in a tie and a coat and suspenders and
Suspenders, Sandy Lyle.
But I don't think I've ever come to work looking like crap.
Obviously Fowler's established.
Like a wrinkled T-shirt and a
acid wash jeans,
a pair of shorts with a tie in the front.
Nice.
Shorts with a tie in the front.
You know how you almost like swim trunks. Yeah, drawstring in the front.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. He's talking about my outfits. He's not talking about the way you guys dress. He's talking about me, and I'm just explaining what I come to work in.
Okay. It's not casual.
You guys look fine.
Thank you.
But if you want to talk about the way I dress, there's nothing wrong with the way I dress. I'll put my outfits up against yours any day of the week. Whoever sent that in. Arbor Day?
It was Arbor Day, maybe. Could have been Tom Trey.
Let's have a fashion show. Me against the listeners.
Oh, I would go to that.
Well, we should do it at TMA. Pick 5 listeners who think I'm a Hoosier, and I'll bring 5 outfits, and you all
Doug,
bring
you think
5 outfits.
I think we could.
And we'll do a fashion show.
You could have formal wear. You could have.
I just
intimate wear.
I'd embarrass the hell out of them, but we can do that if you'd like.
Oh, I don't know who's getting embarrassed, but it's gold.
Looks like we have a new alliance, and it's Mr. Licks and glove blogger Tom Traven. That's going to be a dangerous, dangerous alliance. Warson Woods Wacko, we get it, dude. You drive a leased Subaru Outback and make enough to have easily collected all 3 COVID stimulus checks. Sup, Licks? That's from glove blogger Tom Traven. Mr. Licks also very active. When we play this match, it'll be the first time Wacko's Club has ever seen a Holderness and Board shirt in person. KG and I will run a train on that try-hard Wacko, and Movie Boy will have to be collateral damage. Jackson's now known as Movie Boy. It's from Mr. Licks. Movie Boy.
They're talking about running trains on. Is that a diss? What are we?
I think it is. Yeah.
Where was like the slam there? I'm confused.
He just announced he wanted to have sex with Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson's the one that's supposed to be ashamed?
Yeah. Aroused, I guess.
Movie Boy.
Here's the thing. If you want to look good, you go to Glenn Betts Jewelers. Or if you want your significant other to look good, you go to Glenn Betts Jewelers. Glenn Betts Jewelers, in business in St. Louis since 1941. Operated by the 3rd and 4th generation of the Betts family. The Glenn Betts difference is you are served personally. You're not sold. Glenn Betts Jewelers develops relationships through generations of your family, too. They get to know your likes, your lifestyle, and who and what you love. The 3 L's. GlennBettsJewelers.com. That's GLENNBETZ Jewelers.com. They are located 1 mile east of 270 on Manchester in De Pere. In the jewelry business, there is good, there is better, and then there is Betts. The Betts family passion for serving their customers has been passed down from generation to generation. It's Glenn Betts Jewelers. Online at GlennBettsJewelers.com. Once again, in De Pere, a mile east of 270 on Manchester. Glenn Betts Jewelers.
Good, better, bet. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is bets.
And don't fret. When you go by on Manchester, it looks like the building's right there as a sidewalk. Go around the back. There's plenty of parking in the back. Plenty of parking back there.
Where I parked there. Guys, the loser of this match has to dress in Iggy's clothes for the next year. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko. I would love to see this match happen. So it's Mr. Licks and KG in O-Town against Warson Woods Wacko and Jackson?
It would make a nice little video, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I really would like to see this match.
Yeah, there's one person in all four that you probably want to watch. The other three are just useless.
Wow, Iggy.
Wow. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, who's going to go out and watch the other three? Jackson's part of the show, so yeah, you want to see a member of the show, but the other three are like nobodies.
Dangerous 10.7, too. I wouldn't know.
The other three are nobodies.
Really compressing the ball recently.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Making moves. I mean, I'm still not getting as much distance as I want, but we're improving.
I got to swing the club a couple times.
Mike Wellington just texted me to say Birdies for Bipolar will sponsor any type of Iggy fashion show. So it sounds like Wellington wants it.
Okay.
Well, I think it'd be fun just to see what the other five. I mean, you know what I wear. But if you get 3 or 4 other listeners, and at a TMA Live we do a fashion show where these people that think I dress like a Hoosier, let's see what you wear.
Oh, there are some people who might think you're vulnerable and can be beaten.
Well, let's do it. You got to bring 3 or 4 different outfits. It doesn't have to be nightwear.
But there needs to be categories. It needs to be formal and casual and intimate. There needs to be several
I don't have any
categories.
intimate wear. I go naked.
You do too. I've seen you in a black.
Well, that's
negligee.
Negligee. I'm not wearing my bed clothes to this thing.
That's part of the deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's.
No.
Don't you sleep in the buff?
Yeah, I do. I don't have any night
What about
clothes.
a swimwear competition?
No, it's going to be whatever you want to do. Just 4 different outfits. Bring your best. If you think you want to bring a house coat and a pair of slippers, go ahead.
Wear a house coat.
What the hell's a house coat?
Wear a house coat.
I'm the only one that's seen Doug in his PJs.
It's a robe. So old people.
Like a terry cloth
what
robe?
old people
Yeah,
call
you would
robes.
lose.
What
Tim,
old people call
did you
robes.
notice how Licks made reference to the fact that this match has to be played at my club? Do you know why? He doesn't belong to one. Thanks. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
That's a good point.
Virgin, why can't you hit a 7-iron further than 140 yards? That's from the 636.
I am now. Closer.
Are you really?
Yeah, closer to like a $155, $160.
Look at Jackson, Doug. Buy stock in Jackson's game in 2023. I'm just telling you that. Buy stock in Jackson's game in 2023.
My 150 club's a 7-iron.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any wind, I'd probably hit 7 on 150. But if it's like, if I can carry a $148, I'll take a 7-iron.
7's like a 130 club.
You really know the difference in a $148 and a $150?
He's dialed in.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
that's
I
when you
don't.
know you're-
That's
No,
the
he
answer to
doesn't.
that, Doug. I do not.
No. Maybe if you had your swing down where you swung exactly the same every time, you could be that kind of consistent, like professional quality consistent. Maybe you know the difference in 2 or 3 yards.
Doug, have you ever
Otherwise,
hit the
you're just
ball?
trying to hit it solidly.
Have you ever hit the ball and go, I went 148, not 150?
Not once.
Well, Jason Day just hit it 148, and he knew it wasn't 150 because he birdied number 2, and he now moves to 6 under par, and he is part of Iggy's team. Sepp Straka is at 3 under par. Ryan Fox is at 3 under par. Phil Mickelson is at 2 under par. These are all players who are under par on the golf course, but they're all chasing one man, Mr. Licks's, Darren Atkins's, and maybe Doug Vaughn's. Brooks Koepka of the Live Golf Tour is your leader at Augusta National. He is 1 under par on the day through 5, 8 under for the golf tournament, in which very threatening conditions are making their way towards southern Georgia. Doug, how do you do?
Well, I'm okay.
Man, Maria Olazabal having a rough morning.
Oh, what's the problem?
4 over.
No.
He's got to be 50s by now.
Oh,
right?
hell
Easy.
Easy.
I would guess he is. I'd say
I'd say
61.
closer to 60 than 50.
He's been around a while.
I'm going to make play at 61. Anybody want to do any?
I think that's about right.
I'll say 60.
I'll say
57.
50,
Wow,
yeah.
57. 57 ships it.
He doesn't. Did he even try to play on the Champions Tour?
I don't know. I don't follow the Champions Tour. I just don't. I'd go to the Ascension if I had time.
Looks like, it doesn't look like he did.
Well, they had something yesterday. Danny Mac and Randy Character were out doing something for Ascension.
Yeah, I saw that.
The nose breathing is so bad that we can smell the menthol breathe through the radio. Stop it. That's from Uncle Cucker.
Paw Wheezy Snoot.
Wheezy Beak.
Wheezy Beak.
Maybe hear me sighing after my coffee.
Tim, we have to play the match in between Pillar, Carpool, Drop-Off, and Pickup. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko. So that's where Mr. Licks is all day. He's in Our Lady of Pillar.
Just in the drop-off line, just waiting for someone to come out. That doesn't seem like a very rich existence, does it?
Well, I guess if, you have passive income and it's been insinuated that he lives off of his father-in-law, I guess he doesn't have much to do. So, yeah, I guess he's picking up the kids and he's dropping them off. That's what the insinuation is.
Would you be okay living off your father-in-law?
No.
Yeah.
I'd be uncomfortable.
If I had a father-in-law, yeah, but no, I would have no problem living off of a wife that had a great job or father-in-law that had a bunch of money.
Don't you want to make it yourself, too, though?
If I had my choice, I'd just take it from somebody else and not do anything.
Well,
predictable
I
answer.
like the honesty, actually. Leaning towards that.
Why do anything if you don't have to?
Clip that off.
Sense of
That could be a
accomplishment.
t-shirt.
Sense of accomplishment and having
Well,
done
I've been doing this for
something with your
30
life?
years. What kind of accomplishment do I have here?
Not much.
Yeah, that's
We're
what
on
I'm saying.
HD2, man.
Well,
We're in a new studio.
maybe I'll be around long. Be around long enough to see HD3.
Is there still a chance you could meet a special lady with a wealthy, very elderly father-in-law?
No.
That's off the table at this point?
Yeah, I'm not looking.
Well, what if they come and find you?
Well, it's a different story.
So it could happen.
I have to work at it.
You're not working.
Everyone's deserving of love.
Good luck. Good.
Freeze, Lucky Khan!
I love myself. Does that count?
Yeah.
All right, well,
That's
there you
great.
go.
Yeah.
That's great.
I would just like to see you find a wealthy father-in-law.
Well, at my age, there aren't many. Father-in-law would have to be like 100.
Well, he could be in his 90s and not feeling well.
That's a perfect one. That's a perfect one.
Yeah.
Be like Frank Gallagher.
Hey, I'm a stepdad, and yep, I'm a slut.
Mr. Licks has just announced that he had his children baptized at Our Lady of Pillar.
Okay. That's good.
Well, first of all, you don't have a mom because you're not married, so your kids don't have that mom that you're dating.
I can't follow that.
I can't either.
It's almost get more confusing.
Dear Deidre, my wife and her friends constantly make fun of the size of my manhood.
Do they?
I feel humiliated, and it's starting to make my life a misery. I am 40, my wife is 38, and we've been married for 3 years. It's fair to say that the size of my penis is small.
Oh.
Even erect, it doesn't grow beyond 3 inches.
Oh,
However, despite all of my wife's put-downs, we always have had good sex. I bet she's thrilled. And she's always reached an orgasm. So I don't understand why she feels the need to embarrass me. Just last week, I overheard her laughing on the phone with her friend about it. I feel so low. My confidence and self-esteem are non-existent. Deidre's got advice. This is great. This is about her lack of respect, not your penis size.
Oh.
Tell your wife you won't tolerate her humiliating you about such an intimate subject. You are obviously a considerate lover, as she always orgasms, but learning to be more assertive will help. My support packs Standing Up for Yourself and Raising Self-Esteem will have advice and help increase your confidence. It's great stuff.
Well, there's so many lies in that thing.
Well, it's all made up. It's made up every day when we read one of these. It's all made up.
Those are all lies. Well, first of all,
This is huge.
if you're that small where she's making fun of you, then there's no way she's having orgasms and you're satisfying her.
Well,
Yeah, you
I
can
don't
do
know.
that.
What if he's girthy?
Put that
Oh,
off.
He's skinny and can get into deeper ranges.
I hear
Does that
girth.
work for your advantage? You being skinny, you can get at better angles? Is that right?
Oh, hundo. I'm touching
don't say
stomach, dog.
Wahundo.
But I hear girth is the wave.
But he didn't say that.
Manuel is more girthy.
I hear that's the wave.
But if he had girth, he would say something to
Yeah, you're probably
pump
right.
himself up.
You're probably right.
But Deidre, I'm girthy.
Too much blood to get it going.
Oh.
I don't know any wife that, unless you're being berated and it's a porn cock, I don't know any wife that would just, oh, I love you. God, you make me orgasm every time. And they get on the phone, he's such a small penis. He's such a loser. Ha, ha, ha. This isn't happening.
This is huge.
This isn't happening.
So you're doubting the veracity of the story that Tim just read.
Yeah, well, I doubt most of them, but this one's just
They're
stupid.
all made up. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
It took Deidre all of 2 seconds to answer that.
Yeah.
She had 2 support packs for it. That gives it some credibility.
And Tavistock wasn't involved.
That's correct. But
Tavis-
Green Envy is involved in my lawn and Doug's lawn. And Doug, I was noticing it. I'm telling you, I've already had my lawn cut twice this year. And it's April 7th. And that's because Green Envy and the work that they have done on my lawn and on your lawn. And I know some of our listeners have already contacted them as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I cut my grass Sunday. It needs it again.
Is that
It's
right?
green- yeah.
Holy crap.
It absolutely needs it again. 5 days later? 4 or 5 days later? And the big thing right now, I've got no crabgrass. And conditions are perfect right now for crabgrass. Sometimes it lies dormant there for years, but then you get a bunch of water, a bunch of rain like we've had, and it can crop up on you. Green Envy can take care of that for sure. And if they come out and treat your yard for crabgrass, and the crabgrass comes back, they'll come out at no charge and reapply it to make sure that you kill that darn crabgrass, because you can't have a good lawn without it if you got this crabgrass everywhere. And that's what Green Envy specializes in, is taking care of the problems so your yard can look lush and green, and it's your neighbors with the Green Envy. You have a really nice yard, it helps the value of your house too. It really changes the look of your house when your yard looks great, and it will look great if you get Green Envy. They've got commercially licensed applicators certified by the Missouri Department of Agriculture. You don't get some part-time guy who doesn't know what he's doing. You get pros who've been around a while with Green Envy. This is why we use them, so our yards look perfect. And so I can cut the grass twice a week sometimes.
Twice a week?
Good exercise.
636-757-1600. 636-757-1600. Green Envy, open 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday. They're open on Saturdays as well, from 9 to 1. To take your calls and answer your questions, call 636-757-1600. That is Green Envy. Get involved on this show by texting in 314-881-TMA5. That's the Engineer Designed Facilities text inbox, the EDF group, heretofore known as. And you can call in 636-9004-TMA. An email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. One of the rare times that you can say you would rather be in St. Louis this weekend than Augusta, Georgia, because the conditions in St. Louis pretty damn good. Meanwhile, in Augusta, it's going to be a high of 52 for what is scheduled to be the third round tomorrow, with 100% chance of rain. Meanwhile, in St. Louis, how do you do? Got a beautiful sunny day tomorrow, high is 66. Easter Sunday, sunny, high is 68. Monday, sunny, high is 69. Tuesday, sunny, high is 74. Wednesday, sunny, high is 76. Thursday, sunny, high is 75. Friday, sunny, high is 77. Saturday, sunny, high is 79. Sunday, sunny, high is 73. How do you do?
Resort weather.
Telling you.
Yeah, you couldn't have a much better week than that of the whole year.
I'm telling you, get your work in. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. This is your work, too. Not just getting your work in on the course for the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship, which is presented by Michelob Ultra on April 30th at Gateway National. Get your air conditioning checked now. In the 70s, you're probably safe. But when it goes into the 80s and 90s, you're going to turn that air conditioning on. Make sure that it is working. Get it checked. It's super easy. It's designairservice.com. That's Seth Goldcamp and his staff taking great care of our audience, the official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast, Design Air Heating and Cooling. Doug is a client. I'm a client. Say, friends, why don't you become a client as well? It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. We're in our appliance discounters 8 o'clock hour. If you're in the market for an appliance, look no further than Appliance Discounters and their 80,000 square foot warehouse full of GE appliances and other major brands ready for delivery. Shop online at theappliancediscounters.com, where pricing has been adjusted to beat everybody in the competition. Both Doug and our clients are there as well. We've worked with John and Denise Bradley and their outstanding staff at the Appliance Discounters. They have 5 St. Louis area locations to serve you. They price to beat the competition, so if you need an appliance, make sure you're doing business with our 8 o'clock hour sponsor, and that's The Appliance Discounters. Online at theappliancediscounters.com. Cardinals and Brewers tonight, Doug, and the Cardinals kind of need to get things going here as they swept by the Braves and now will take on their Central Division competition, the Milwaukee Brewers, who put up some runs and got on a heater after losing their opener to the Cubs last week. The Brewers now sit at 5-1 and have won 5 straight. And they are doing some raking. It's the pitching staff that gets a lot of attention for Milwaukee. Question marks in that lineup. But the Cardinal pitching staff will have to deal with the Brewers lineup that is off to a pretty damn good start. And they'll be dealing with Brandon Woodruff this evening, so they will be put to the test.
Cardinals are tied with the Royals for the longest current losing streak in all of baseball at 3 games.
Sick.
How do I look my kids in the eye and talk about that? We're running out of season. We're running out of season.
Cash.
Well, you'd hate to see this drag on too long and confidence start to wane and infighting began. You hate to get off to too rough a start.
I couldn't believe in December when you made no move to that pitching staff that now in April you'd have a pitching problem.
What don't you like about the pitching?
Everything, age, injury prone. I mean,
besides
stardom, athleticism,
Stardom.
an ace.
Oh,
there's a couple things wrong.
Well, you have any hope at all that they'll bounce back, that they'll snap out of this and go on a streak? They're good enough to do that.
I mean, once, maybe you start Verhagen.
No. He's
bring
looked
up
good.
Patty Nottingham and put him in the 2 role.
It's not. Drew Verhagen has looked good. So has Zach Thompson.
Verhagen's actually a decent.
The bullpen's been pretty damn solid, minus Jordan Hicks, who has been pretty bad.
Yeah.
13.5 ERA, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look at what the number is for this evening's festivities, Doug, considering the pitching
Who goes
matchup.
Flaherty for us?
Flaherty. 1-0 with a 0.00 ERA, Brandon Woodruff. Brewers minus 162. Your over-under is 8.
I feel like the Cardinals haven't hit in a few games. I feel like they're...
Have they got a hit?
No, haven't hit much in the last few games.
Jordan Walker's had a hit in every game.
Yeah, so I think their offense kind of explodes.
What if it's
6?
What if it's time to move him up in the lineup just a wee bit?
They should.
8 is a little low.
6 seems like the sweet spot
5 or
right now,
6,
Doug.
yeah, I'd get him.
Will Tyler O'Neill be out there? Is he still in timeout?
I don't know. If he's not, it's becoming a big story. If he's on the bench again, because that would definitely constitute a benching for someone who's supposed to be one of your top players. I don't get it. But if he's benched again, I think it starts to really become something.
Game in April 5th. Like, nothing should matter at that point.
Like, nobody's ever made a base-running blunder before, if you even consider it a blunder.
Well, Wednesday, he said, was a scheduled day off, right?
That's what they said. It's whether you believe it or not.
You need a scheduled day off 5 games into the season. You've already had a day off in the middle of it.
That's not uncommon. I mean, Jordan Alvarez sat out like the 3rd game of the season for a rest.
If you've got,
Well, he wasn't an everyday player.
If you got 4 or 5 outfielders you want to get in, you figure that they're all going to rest at some point. But if I would never rest Jordan Walker, I'd say you're out there every game. Sorry, you're not coming out.
Yeah, he's played every game. He hasn't had a day off.
No.
Scheduled day off for him.
Yeah, I wouldn't give him one. He's too good.
Well, O'Neill does have a history of injury.
Yeah, but I just don't. You played 5 games, and you've already had 2 days off in between the 5 games.
Yeah.
It's not like you played 5 straight games.
I can't believe any of them are tired at this point. I think it's just a matter of wanting to get the other outfielders at bats.
Starting pitcher had 10 days off. It's Woodford and Matz. Kind of like 10 days with no pitching.
Yeah. We got to rest the arms. I saw somebody yesterday was proposing trades for Tyler O'Neill to Atlanta. Of course, apparently they've got an overload of pitchers. They've got some good people in AAA they thought might be a trading partner for the Cardinals and Braves.
We trade the manager instead?
Oh.
Like, if I had to pick between wanting Marmol or O'Neill, I think it's an easy choice.
You'd rather have O'Neill?
Matheny and Schilt and Marmol have done kind of basically the same thing. You win a crappy division, you lose in the first round. Like, we've seen that. I mean, you can give Pujols or Yachty the key to that car, and they can do that.
Well, they could have made anybody. They could have Whitey Herzog managing last year, and if your big stars can't hit, can't score any runs, you're not going to win.
Yeah, I just don't know why the player has to be traded. Why can't the manager be held accountable? So when Marmol makes a bad pitching move, let's say hypothetically he takes Quintana out in 6 2/3 when he doesn't have anybody else. So nobody can criticize him for that. You can't. No player can criticize that. But when you quote unquote don't hustle, and that O'Neill play, you can't even tell if it was noticeable that he let up. Like, I get it, but. No fan said, man, you need more hustle. I didn't see any of that on Twitter or anything before Marmol came out and said it.
Well, he created the issue.
Yeah. In the military, they say rank has its privileges, and I'm sure that goes with the business world and the baseball world. If you're the manager or the GM, yeah, you can criticize others, and no, they can't necessarily criticize you.
But one of the things that probably everybody on the dais perhaps has heard before, Doug, watch this, praise in public, critique in private.
Right. Oh, yeah, I didn't like what he did at all.
Oh, I know. We were on the same page from the get-go.
But I think he's going to get away with it.
Jamie Rivers was critical of my opinion on 101 ESPN
And there's nothing that this show likes more than Radio Wars. It's something we've prided ourselves on. And so I walked back to where Jamie Rivers and Anthony Stalter and Marshy Marsh and the Playful Posse, who many of our audience members went to sleep with. And you ever see Boys in the Hood?
No.
Oh, I love that movie.
Iggy, ever see Boys in the Hood?
Probably 4 or 5 times.
Really?
I love that movie.
Jackson, I'm sure you've seen Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
There's a scene in which O'Shea Jackson, who goes by the name Ice Cube, stands up on the front of the house as somebody, a passerby, goes by. And he goes, "We got a problem here. We got a problem here." So I walked back. And I walked right up to Jamie Rivers, and I said, "We got a problem here. We got a problem here." And he immediately got up and out of his chair and stood over me. And he's a little taller than me. Like
He's got nothing on you, Tim.
I think he's 5'8.5".
He's 5'8.5".
Is he?
And he goes, "What's the problem?" I go, "Nothing. Jackson's going to be here in a minute. We just want to make sure everything's looking good for you guys today. Okay, bye."
Now, did you have your lifts on? Were you wearing?
I was wearing my lifts, and I was like at 5'7" with these lifts. Seriously.
Well, and he didn't do anything other than play in the NHL.
Exactly.
So he's a guy you want to go after.
Thank you.
You pick him out first.
You just you respect him, just like some media people do to Wainwright. Hey, Wayno.
Uh-oh. All of a sudden, the St. Louis media took Shrapnel.
Well, some people do that. They cower.
Hey, Wayno, what'd you think of the fans?
Yeah, good game, Wayno.
We don't have enough of those media members.
Well, you have to. There is something to be said about just being polite to the players. It doesn't make you a better media member because you go down there yelling and screaming. Big New York guy, got to rip everybody apart. You'll get exactly one interview, and that'll be it for the rest of the year.
Yeah, but that one.
Well, maybe.
Guys, Marmola's in over his head. He won't be here at the end of 2024. That's from Danny Tanner.
I got to say, I don't know if he fits well with the manager, and I don't know how the players look. I have no idea, but
He doesn't seem to have much of a soft side. Doesn't have much of a
too
personality,
gritty,
really.
Yeah.
I mean, Schilt, he didn't play either, which doesn't help his credibility in the game. You know, I'm one for saying I don't care if you played Major League Baseball or not. If you're a good manager, you're a good manager. But it does give you some instant credibility, and it makes it a little harder to come down hard on other players, I would think.
I think Schilt, that was a mistake. If I had to,
hiring Mike Schilt?
No, firing Mike Schilt.
Oh,
I think between Matheny, Marmol, and Schilt.
I think that was a personal situation there. I don't think that was necessarily about strategy. And I think that kind of is obvious, actually, considering they went on a monster winning streak at the end of that season, and he was let go.
They only won 17 in a row and got back in the playoffs.
I like
Manager of the Year the year before.
I think there was some shrapnel left over from the Rosarena thing in 19, the Paul DeYoung thing. Continued to be a point of consternation, and I just think that he wanted to get an extension, and they weren't going to give him the extension, and I think he was pissed about it, and they go, this guy's not somebody that we want to continue to be in business with. And Ollie Marmol wanted the job. I think he was aggressive in wanting to get the job, even though he was Schilt's right-hand guy. And I really, I talked about this when it happened with the Helsley game. I understand it. I've rarely felt like, and we've been lucky enough in St. Louis to see so many postseason series, and rarely, but it has happened, have I felt like the manager for the Cardinals or the manager against the Cardinals has either won or lost the series. I do feel like Tony La Russa played a huge role in winning the 2011 World Series, but I almost feel like Ron Washington played a larger role in his mismanagement for the Rangers. Mike Matheny in the 2014 NLCS, that was just unfortunate. It was almost kind of sad because it got away from him so badly. But what happens in the postseason is managers get blamed for crap that they do throughout the course of the year, and then because it's one game, it's treated like the Super Bowl. Things get overanalyzed and second-guessed based on results. So whatever. I've been doing this stuff long enough to see that come and go. But calling out a guy's effort in Game 5, a week after you named him the starting center fielder for the year, is holy crap. Mm-hmm. And yes, Mozeliak said, yeah, we need to have effort around here, or whatever he said. But he also said it would have been better to handle this privately. And O'Neill went, but good for O'Neill, by the way, for saying, this never had to get out. That's the issue. That is just.
And the fact that you can even watch the video and still not sure that there's a lack of effort there. It's not like he didn't run out a double play ball, stopped halfway to the base. It's still hard to know.
And on top of it, and I mean, my God, what is the bigger issue? Tyler O'Neill's effort, a guy who's never, I don't think, had his effort questioned, or the fact that the starting rotation is an absolute dumpster fire. So I don't know. That was a moment for the first time because if anything, I feel like the manager gets too much blame for things in baseball, and it'll happen in St. Louis because it's a baseball-obsessed market. But this was the first time I go, geez, because I haven't really thought much about the Cardinal manager one way or the other over the last however many years. Certainly, probably 2014 stands out to me. Like I said, with that NLCS, that was alarming. But holy crap, I was really surprised by calling out a player's effort, especially when you'd already met with him. You already tended to it.
Yeah.
So why do you got to go after him in a press conference? I mean, but whatever. I don't know. Fine. We'll see how that all works out for him.
Yeah.
The players didn't come out with. I guess they were neutral. No player really came out.
I don't know. Do you think Nolan Arenado or Paul Goldschmidt, two professionals who, do you think they're going to go and? I mean, Paul Goldschmidt would never say any Nolan Arenado. It's just not the way that they work. If you're a professional and you have success, you're very rarely will you. I mean, like Tommy Pham, God bless him, entertaining interview. But there's a reason he bounces around. This stuff is, if you follow how the world works, this isn't limited to baseball. If you got a problem, the problems have tough times finding jobs, And that works also in the manager's office or the head coach's office. Those are the ones who have tough times finding jobs.
I don't know that any reporter went around to all the other players either, asking for their opinion or the players.
But you've done this long enough to know if you would have asked Paul Goldschmidt or Nolan Arenado or even, hell, I don't know, with Dylan Carlson, what they thought of O'Neill's effort, what you would have gotten.
Yeah, they would have said nothing about it.
But I mean, for example, when the Cardinals lost to the Giants in 2002 NLCS, and because I was around the same age with a lot of guys on the team. If anything, I was younger than a lot of guys on the team. And at that time, they would go out and drink because you could without some, buddy wanting to get low. And I go, I mean, I wasn't really thinking about it. One way or the other, I go, JD's so damn lazy, and he could have been playing up, and then he took his time with the throw, and the throw was crap. God, it just sucks that we don't have a guy who cares, that. But if I would have gone, okay, let's do an interview, never would they have ever said anything remotely like it. And it's just understood. It's one of those things that you understand. And I'm really surprised, by the way. I kind of thought that the public would be more on Marmol's side. But overwhelmingly, the reaction has been, he might have been not hustling, or maybe he wasn't hustling, but either way, handle it in private. So tip of the cap to the public for kind of understanding the way that you got to lead. That's not the way you do it. And even if you had 10 years and a bunch of success, I still would say that's not the right way to do it. But you're in your second year and you got swept out of the playoffs. Granted, it's a 3-game series, but certainly managerial decisions were a focal point of game one. And you're going to light up a guy's effort who you just named starting center fielder in game 5? I don't know about that, man. I really am legitimately surprised. And rarely do I get really worked up over baseball managerial decisions because I think they're exaggerated. But in this case, I was really surprised by it.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of backlash there is. And there will be backlash for Neil's on the bench again today. I think it'll really start to heat up.
Well, the reason I bring up the players, I just didn't know, behind closed doors, how they react to managers going after a player. And, I don't know. I feel like this has like a stinging effect if it lingers any longer in terms of middle of the season, late in the season. Maybe you're relying on Tyler O'Neill. And I don't know. It just seems like unnecessary, unwarranted attention.
It's probably similar to how someone in any other business employees would react if the boss came out and yelled at one of the employees. They might whisper among themselves what they think, but probably keep it to themselves in the big picture.
Yeah, that's how it should be,
Tim, why do you think the public's reaction has been more on Tun's side instead of Marmol's? I don't know. Maybe some people are still pissed about the playoff loss to the Phillies. I think historically in St. Louis, and I don't know if this is different from other markets, the manager catches more hell than the players. You notice that? You would agree with that, right?
Yeah.
But I also just think it's the principle of it. it was odd. And it'd be one thing if he didn't tend to it privately, but he did. He acknowledged they talked about it. But then he went out and then the next day he went back after it.
Yeah. And Marmol is so intense that he doesn't, he doesn't come off as a terribly relatable or likable guy. He's not unlikable. He just doesn't seem to have a warm and fuzzy side. That may have something to do with it. Even LaRusso could joke around at times and not always just be so intense with everything.
But the thing with LaRusso, and he would light my ass up plenty. I don't know how. I assume you got it, but maybe not. I don't know. I mean, obviously,
the cat got it.
I was about to say the cat obviously got it more than anybody.
Out of the shower. A couple times he had
shaving cream on, and he'd be watching westerns up in the corner. That was one of my favorite parts of going down there back in the day when we would go into his office, and there'd be just westerns on, and he'd be so distracted by this 1960s western that was on in the office. But he understood the program. You don't throw a guy under the bus, especially his effort individually. That's what I'm talking about. But whatever.
Well, they spend so much time together from February to hopefully October, almost 7 days a week, traveling all the time. They're together so much that the last thing you want is to have people butting heads and upset with each other because you called them out to the media. That's the last thing you want or need.
Yeah. And then if the guy isn't playing, O'Neill's like, well, I mean, it was my scheduled day off. And the Marmole's, no, we have a standard, and it's up here.
Yeah.
And if you're not...
And you haven't met it. Hustle or don't play.
Yeah,
Doesn't everybody know that?
The doubling down the next day after that was, like, eye-opening. Originally bringing it up was one thing, but not forgetting it and bringing it up. We have a standard here, and if you're not...
guys, Marmol has an air about him that he knows everything. That's from Danny Tanner. I haven't really had a big opinion on Ollie Marmol because I think growing up, certainly with Whitey Herzog and Tony La Russa, obviously, you felt like the manager really had a big amount of power. Now, in a sense, I feel like the manager is kind of on the puppet strings of the data guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really get work, and they're so. I mean, the Cardinals have had 3 managers since July of 2018, whereas it was. Well, Whitey Herzog all the way up until 1990, and then you had Joe Torre, and then you had Tony La Russa, and that covered 3 decades, and now you have 3 in 5 years. I just don't necessarily view it one way or the other as I used to, and but this one stands out to me. Guys, it's fascinating to me to watch the B-Fibs acknowledge that Marmol is literally a middle manager on the hierarchy. That has to be unique in baseball. That's from Kevin's brother. His first name is Jack, and then his last name is Demoff.
Well, it's unique to the Cardinals. I don't think we've gotten that sense with the Cardinals lately. I don't think it's unique to all of baseball. There are others.
Yeah, I feel like it's super commonplace.
Yeah.
I think just maybe even 10 years ago, I probably could have named almost every manager in the game. And I don't even know if I could name half right now.
They used to be the Dusty Baker, Joe Torre types who played a long time
Bobby
in the league.
Cox
you knew
is my
him.
favorite.
Yeah. Older guys who kind of had their own opinions, full of personality, and people respected them because of their years in the game. When you're new and people don't know you as a player, and you still come out and have kind of a rough edge, that might not be the recipe to get the fans on your side right away.
Baseball at one time had Leland, La Russa, Bobby Cox, Showalter.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all at one time.
Lou Piniella.
Absolute. Lou Piniella.
No, he could be a Banny Rooster.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
And the guy in San Francisco, Bruce Bochy, was around a long time.
Yeah.
What about when Roger Craig and Whitey Herzog were fighting after Jose Oquendo and Ozzie Smith double-teamed Will Clark?
I just miss, that was pre-analytics to where you just have this old, crotchety old man who's been around baseball for 40 years. He fits in perfectly to any clubhouse.
We've got a live Sunday charge going on. We've got a live Sunday charge going on, and the Plowhawk and Mr. Licks and Doug are all here for it. Brooks Koepka is your leader through 7. He's 1 under on the day, 8 under on the tournament. Jason Day, Iggy, is 2 under. He is 1 off the lead. He is at 7 under for the tournament through 4, so he is really continuing to play some good golf. But here comes Joaquin Neiman now. He's 2 under, 3 under for the tournament. Here comes Phil Mickelson. He's 1 under and 2 under for the tournament. Here comes Dustin Johnson. He's 1 under.
Here comes Shepard.
He's 2 under for the tournament. It is something to see as LIV is making its mark at the Mastleys.
But I'd love to see. I'm excited to see when Cam Young and Rob tee off. I love LIV golf, but those two are just so sick to watch too. So I kind of like the DJ creeping in there.
The John Rahm situation will be intriguing to see because he doesn't tee off for 3 hours, and I don't know what the situation will be like at Augusta National at that point. Let me take a look at my forecast for you, Doug. I know you're monitoring it for your roster.
I haven't.
Yeah, Hovland, Rahm, and Young.
Thunderstorms this afternoon, but it's 30, 40%, 40%. It never is like 100. Tomorrow's 100% rain and a high of 52. God, you look at the weather next week and it is absolutely perfect. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
That's really lousy weather for Georgia.
I am telling you,
really bad. But that's where they are. Maybe they could move it to Westboro. Finish the last couple of rounds here.
Could you imagine? I would love to see every second of that.
Yeah.
I wonder if Rory McIlroy would hit driver on any hole. And I say that sincerely. I don't know. I'm sure some of my compadres who I play with there.
I mean, Bryson could hit from the corner of the course.
I honestly, I've been told by a couple people that some guys who have that kind of distance nearly got to the creek on 13, which,
oh my God,
which is insane to me. Like, I can't imagine that, but I guess if you can hit the ball 375 yards and that is downhill, it'd be like, yeah, why would I don't need to hit driver. What does it matter? I'll hit 3-wood and then I'll just be safe and then I'll hit, 9-iron in. Yeah, different operation. Yeah, other than that, I don't think there'd be any possible hole.
So
that'd be intriguing. It's a par 68, so.
Yeah, so you're saying there's a chance that it could happen.
16 can drive the green.
Aren't there a couple holes still under construction? They can get around that.
Well,
What they hit
we
on?
all have stories.
What they hit on 2? 4-iron, 3-iron?
God. I don't know on that. I can't recall. Because I play with some guys there who hit 3-wood. So I don't know what that would be. 250.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
260.
driver, but I don't know if it'd be iron or 3-wood.
Yeah. I think they'd probably go, I'm just going to hit a wedge out there, and then I'm going to hit a little gap wedge, and I'll have a birdie putt from 5 feet. I don't need to, why even bring trouble into it? That's probably how they think about it. Sam Bennett, the amateur, who Iggy, you wrote a love letter to on Twitter?
I just said I love this kid.
Well, he is 3 strokes off the lead as he is 1 under par. He started yesterday 4 under through 6, and he is an amateur player, and he is 5 under for the golf tournament, 1 under today through 1. He is lurking. What if you had a live player against an amateur on Sunday? Would that be?
That'd be nice.
Yeah,
this is something else, man.
He started off birdie, eagle yesterday.
Birdie, eagle, yeah.
3 under through 2.
And then he birdied again, 6 or something?
I think 6, and then he threw another one in there and didn't.
I think he's a 5th-year senior at A&M.
Yeah, just won the U.S. Amateur.
Oh, wow.
You can go straight to live. Get a bag.
I just tweeted about how Will Zalatoris should have taken that bag. But yeah, Sam Bennett.
He took my bag, 22 rosters.
That's so ridiculous.
God bless America, Doug.
Sorry, Tim.
You doing any loans yourself, or should I just go to thehomeloanexpert.com?
I loan, but I charge like 50% interest.
Could you imagine going to those sketchy check loan place and going, "Why you need it, man? I had a bad
Jim
weekend."
Hayes Enterprises used to charge like 67%.
He said that was an industry standard, though.
Yeah.
Can't confirm.
Now, yeah.
Guys, Iggy hasn't mentioned today yet that he wasn't invited to Tim's member guest. That's from the 314. I feel like you did bring up member guests, but you were talking about the Horseman was wacko and me.
So this is not your year to appear there.
No.
It's Matt Polling's year, Doug.
Yeah. It's not your year.
Polling's a 15. He's a dangerous 15.
I'm available if anybody wants me on there.
Well, but they don't need you at Westboro, apparently.
Because I get to hit from the senior tees now, so.
Yeah, that won't help much.
I don't know. Some of those scores of the senior tees are way up by the women's.
Doug, Mr. Licks has a country club question. Are you taking country club questions?
Yeah. I belong to several clubs.
Tim, do people at Westboro look down at those at the club that only play on the weekends? It's something I've noticed at other clubs I've played at. I find it to be funny. That's from Mr. Licks.
They look down on people who only play on Saturday and Sunday?
But they are
Maybe they've got jobs.
I know. That's how they make money to pay for, their dues.
Honestly, at most points, people are kind of done working, and that's why they're able to do it.
I guess that is the other side.
But, Mr. Licks, I don't know. I try to play often. As much as possible. So.
Well, some people don't belong to country clubs for the golf. They belong for the pool and the social atmosphere, the restaurants, the cocktail hours, just hanging out.
The bocce.
St. Louis Country Club. You got the polo on the backfields.
Pickleball. They have pickleball at Westboro now?
I think so. I never have played tennis over
Boy, it
there.
is just exploding.
Oh, my God.
Apparently,
wow.
that's almost all Chesterfield Mall is these days.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
The thing that amazed me at St. Louis Country Club more than the polo courts is that they have clay court tennis courts. Clay.
Yeah.
Rafael Nadal.
Clay court expert.
Clay court expert. That's correct. This guy's not happy with the handicap system for the Fan Page Club Championship. Shouldn't Iggy's course handicap at Gateway be less than an 18 if he's going to play Guy from the senior tees? That's from the 636. Doug, people are policing the...
Okay, move it down a couple notches.
Well, if you are going to play from the senior tees, that would alter it. Absolutely.
I don't know what the...
Let's put you at about a 13.
All I got to do is enter it into the app. Doug, do you have anything you want to tell us about, or are we done telling people about things?
I think I'm done telling about people, but I can tell Iggy that he should probably lower his handicap from an 18 if you're going to move way up to the senior tees.
Iggy,
let's get you down to about a 7 or 8.
You're not in the app anymore.
Oh, no.
What app?
You're not in the Gin app.
Sure I am.
I mean, I'm just telling you, you're not. I don't have to tell you. There's a guy named Spencer Strode. There's no Kenny Strode.
Well, Spencer's my nephew. What's his handicap?
Doug, Spencer's a 10.4.
Really? He's not that good.
He's a vanity cap?
Could be.
He would not fit in the Fan Page Club Championship.
May not be the right one. I don't know. I did get an email, but I thought it was a spam saying that...
What'd you get?
Saying it wouldn't accept my credit card for my
Here
update.
come the emails from the listeners.
No, it could be that I did get a new credit card. It was a new number, but I thought I changed it and everything that I used my credit card on.
This guy who wanted to check on Iggy's handicap says, uh-oh, does Iggy not have a gin? It sounds like he knew what he was doing. The counselor was setting the situation up, and here we go.
Oh, gosh.
Well,
Evidence disappears.
The last time you looked, it was there, so I don't know what to tell you.
Doug, how do we handle this?
I just give it to the key.
Active membership.
Let him have the first one. Iggy, take a seat.
Oh, it said you must have an active gin membership and access gin golf products.
Yeah.
Please
Well,
contact your club administrator.
Sounds like the first forfeit is already underway.
No, I guess the credit card thing was right. I mean, I did get a new credit card and it changed the number.
Yeah.
But I automatically changed. I mean, every other streaming service I get and everything that I use my credit card for online.
That's okay.
KG in O-Town just sent in wide open eye emojis.
I don't take me out of the club championship. I don't care.
It sounds like it's happening.
I don't have a gin either, so 2/3 or what is it?
You're
Half
forfeiting as well.
Half of the big brackets.
Oh my God!
You
Just
think
like
I care?
that.
You think I care? Give me what you want. I don't care. I'll play scratch. I don't care.
I'm an 18, but I play like a 21, so whoever gets me is getting kind of a value.
People with gints that are.
Gins, the new company.
We're gonna create it.
Yeah, I'll call Tommy O'Toole. I don't know. I go through Metropolitan Golf Association. I don't know what happened.
I can't imagine Tom O'Toole fielding a call from you about your handicap.
Well,
I would like to record that.
He started that company.
And then hanging up and then
He
calling
started the
another
Metropolitan Golf Association.
Good morning. Ken is Grint AF. That's from glove vlogger Tom Traven. Iggy, I believe the message was insufficient funds, and that's not considered spam.
No,
That's
it wasn't
from Saul.
insufficient funds because if that was the case, my Netflix wouldn't go through, my
Well, have you
Hulu
checked
wouldn't
it?
go
Have you
through.
checked those lately?
I did get, yeah, it's all going through. I did get a email, but I thought it was a spam.
Yeah.
When they ask you for your password and all this, and we need your credit card number, Metropolitan Golf Association can't read your credit card. I said, oh, that's another spam trying to get my credit card. I guess it was true, but I don't know.
The man got duped by Home Depot, but he thought an email from the gin folks about an outdated credit card was phony. This despite acknowledging having a new credit card. That's from Show-'em Budsman Brian Henson. Also the Milagro Tequila Lister of the month of March.
Yes, he was.
And didn't you hear me just say that every other thing I use my credit card online for automatically went through? So why didn't this?
I don't know.
I didn't go into Netflix and all that and change my credit card.
But this means you're out of the tournament?
I guess so. According to one person who wants me out, I guess I'm out. I don't care.
You do care. You've looked forward to this event.
Yeah, but I also don't care if I don't play.
Oh.
So I'm not on the fan page. I don't have a gin. There's two things against me.
Well, Brooks Koepka has a Grint, and he also has a 3-stroke lead at Augusta National after he eagles number 8. The Live Golf Tour celebration is underway. Brooksy is double digits before he even makes the turn on Friday, Doug. Here comes Koepka.
Dude, he is on fire.
He is on a mission. He's one of those guys, and I don't know if I said it on this show or on Balloon Party yesterday, he's one of those guys, and P. Reed, as much as I dislike him, but he's kind of like Jordan looking at the iPad in The Last Dance. He concocts a way to take things personally, and if he's healthy enough, he will skull F you if he can. And so he is in a spot right now where he is doing it. He just eagled number 8. He's 3 under for his round, 10 under for the tournament, and has a 3-stroke lead on Day, Hovland, and Rahm.
So
How do you do?
If he gets to 13 under and the weather starts to kick in, I mean, you're
Huge.
talking.
That's why the guys who are teeing off this morning, it is a monster advantage. It's a monster advantage.
I hope at 18 on the final day, Greg Norman comes bursting through the doors of Butler Cabin and raises.
It's Norman's music. He's in a helicopter because they don't own the airway. You know, they don't own the skies.
Yeah.
So he can just party like in a helicopter.
He can parachute out of there.
I wonder if, say he wins this tournament by a stroke or two. How many people are going to go back and say, well, if he wasn't a cheater, because you know his caddy asked him what he hit, that is a 2-stroke penalty.
I do not see that as being the case. But you know what? I'm speaking from somebody who actually kind of researched the situation. How many people, watched Paul McGinley last night at whatever time he was talking about this, to know that.
Yeah.
So you're right. More people right now think he cheated. More people think Morikawa cheated. And, by the letter of the law, actually, Morikawa did not.
He did not, but
by the letter of the law, Koepka's caddy did. But as I was saying earlier in the show, McGinley said that it's something that everybody does. They just understand that that's the deal. Guys, Iggy is the P. Reed of the Fan Page Club Championship. That comes with the total package.
Why is that? I don't cheat.
Understand it.
You don't have a handicap.
I don't cheat. I guess that's what they're referring to.
Yeah. It looks like someone is being lied to, Brian Henshin.
I don't know if it's
about what?
A deal, but we can make it one, I guess.
I don't know.
You can go ahead and take me out of the tournament. I don't care. Just give me.
Oh, but you would care.
He can forfeit his way into the next round. I don't care.
Well, you would care. You don't want to forfeit the first round when you got a
If
shot
these
to win
people are
this
upset
darn
enough
thing.
that I don't have a gin anymore because of
Who's upset?
a credit card snafu, and I don't want to be on the fan page, so I guess do what you want to do. I don't really
do what
care.
you want to do. It's up to you.
Okay. I just don't want to see you expelled before the turn even begins when you got a chance to win this darn thing.
Just pull up that email that said
Yeah.
that
It was from like 2 months ago. I don't know where the hell it is.
search
And I
it
think I
up
probably deleted it too because I thought it was spam.
Well, then there's ways to get that
I'll
credit
just
card
call.
back.
I'll call the Metropolitan Golf Association.
Yeah, no problem. You'll be back on Gen app in no time, and everything will be fine.
Who cares?
I care. I want you in the
We
tournament.
all care greatly.
Well,
Can
who's
we
gonna-
swap
who's gonna
Iggy
kick
for
me out?
another
That guy?
full-time employee on the show like KG in O-Town or Donnie Mose? That's from glove blogger Tom Traven.
No, I guess that's possible.
Yeah, well, I'm sure KG enjoyed the Blues game last night. He was there, wasn't he? He's an employee.
He could take your spot.
No, wait, he wasn't there.
Do you mind if he takes your spot and plays against Guy instead?
He's already in the tournament.
Oh.
Yeah, he is. What is he at, 15 and a half?
Dangerous
15.
Yeah, he's got a bracket too, doesn't he? Oh, no, he doesn't have a bracket.
Oh, damn.
Gosh.
Well, you want to keep throwing shade at me. I'm just going to go right back to you. If you want to stop, you can stop, and we'll all just let it go. But
I think it's going to be awkward while you're cruising around Capri.
no, he'll be in Jackson's cubbyhole, and I won't see him.
Yeah, how are we teeing off? Like, are we in a group together?
Pairings have not been announced by Sean Barnes,
Okay.
and I think Jeff Smith gets together with Sean, and they try to do it for television.
Just randomize it on an Excel
I mean, you'd have to think that, Iggy, we could be in the same pairing again. We have been the last few years.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. I mean,
It
that's a
makes-
feiter matchup, you and Guy, and me and the voice of TMA Live's Andy Hanselman.
Yeah, I don't think it'll get to either of those guys, but in the past, it has been a little nerve-wracking for the other players playing with you and I. They get a little nervous.
You think,
I think
especially you.
I think that's why we
Especially you.
came through the early rounds, because they play against us and they falter because they're so afraid.
Well, you have such an aura about you that people are
I don't know why.
intimidated.
I'm an easygoing guy.
See, I
Well,
want
Victor Hovland played with Tiger yesterday and shot his best round ever,
Yes, he did.
65.
Yeah.
I want to make a suggestion. I would love to play with Milty and Basler. Again, I think
Saw
that,
Milty last night.
I think that matchup there, 1.3 with Basler, but you know what Mark can do at Gateway.
Oh,
You know what Mark Milton told me last night? I was walking in with the great Kerry Davis as we were going to the suite.
Love Kerry.
And I saw Mark Milton, and he said, yeah, you're getting a lot of mileage out of that asterisk you put on my handicap when you announced the pairings. He goes, that's fine. I'm going to win this thing.
Oh.
The confidence as well, dog. I'm telling you, Will Basler 1.3 out in the first round, potentially? That's
Could happen.
If I was getting 18 strokes, I'd be confident, too. I was going to offer to pay for your gin, but not after that. That's from KG in O-Town.
I don't need you to pay for anything.
Oh, no.
But it would have been a nice gesture on his part.
Right. It's like buying you a drink.
Get away from this.
You've had enough of this talk, and you're
you
almost
drank.
crestfallen.
that T-Pain?
Yeah.
It's time for email of the day. But
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. We do have one more break, though, to take.
Oh,
Yep,
and it's
we do.
9:30.
We do. It's 9:30. Send your emails in. It's coming up in just 15 minutes. And we wrap up the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour. Jackson and I are going to get our asses ripped in a half hour, Doug. Usually have a little more breathing room.
Come and get your whooping.
That's right. Balloon Party. What do we have coming up on Balloon Party from my Munganess, St. Louis Accurate Alternative?
The great Darren Pang on at 10:15 to
Oh,
talk
sweet.
about the Blues and Rangers and Vladdy's return to St. Louis.
Nice.
And then the Little Piddles Friday 6-shooter.
Oh, my God, it's everything. I have a feline Panger and I are going to talk more Masties. He's been tweeting more Masties about than any hockey. We'll talk it over with Panger coming up at 10:15 on 101 ESPN. Take a break, come back with our 9 o'clock hour. Yes, I know it's 9:29. Send your emails in. Iggy's obviously not happy about this gin discovery.
No, he walked
The morning after at InsideSTL.com. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
You wanted the best? Well, you got the best. The hottest band in the world.
Yes. The End of the Road World Tour. October 25th, Enterprise Center. Yes. Countdown. The final 50 shows. On sale Friday, April 7th, 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. History will be made.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's. Hey, it's Jackson from Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially, saving for retirement and college while also paying bills and enjoying life along the way. Whether you're like me and starting your financial planning, or if you're already retired, call Mark Hanna. Mark works with you to design a strategy to do your finances right. It's a straightforward approach that starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs. Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Strode. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open. Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and we are thrilled to have another new sponsor on board the show. A couple of guys I have gotten to know. Longo Biggs, Injury Law, Doug Biggs, and C.D. Longo here with me. And C.D., one of the things that I want our audience to know is this. When people get injured in an accident, they don't necessarily know what to do, and that's where you guys come into play.
Yeah. Tim, it can be a very confusing process. If you get hurt in a car accident or injured some other way, people do not know what to do. They don't even know how to start a claim. We're going to take the hassle out of your hands and make the entire process very easy. Injury cases are potentially worth a lot of money. We're going to make sure you get every dollar you deserve. We're very excited to be part of the TMA family. We're hoping to have a lot of fun with this. If you or a loved one do get injured, please remember us at Longo Biggs Injury Law. You can visit our website at longobiggs.com, and that is Biggs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
For our audience.
Test. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame legends Kiss to the End of the Road tour. Yep, another farewell tour, October 25th at Enterprise Center. Tickets on sale now. Want to win tickets? Register on your TMA mobile app or at TMASTL.com.
Doug Vaughn here alongside Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. Ryan, you're well known for doing mortgages and refis, but also nobody does more charity work than you do in the community.
Well, I think there's probably some people that do more, but at the Home Loan Expert, we work hard so that we can have that opportunity to give back. We're well known throughout St. Louis and other cities for climbing mountains, for taking care of children battling life-threatening disease, and taking care of our military. In fact, that's why we launched the Keep Climbing Foundation. Years ago, I started climbing mountains to raise money for forensic kids with cancer and SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Hospital right here. And now that's grown into a full-blown 503 nonprofit. KeepClimbingFoundation.org is where you can learn all about our upcoming climbs, our charitable partners, and the things that we're doing in the community. Yeah, I'll tell you, mortgages are what we do, and we're darn good at it, and our clients love us. But giving back and trying to make an impact is really our reward and what we love. Got questions about a home loan? Thinking about climbing a mountain? Either way, let's talk. Visit the KeepClimbingFoundation.org.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229. Or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
105.7 HD2, the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
Tongue, plow, 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 me.
Care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's gray, and Wednesday's too. Thursdays, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. Thursday doesn't even start. It's Friday, I'm in love. Sundays always come too late. And let Robert sing.
Did you ever get your cure
Heart
tickets?
attack. I did.
Where are you going?
Chicago.
Chicago for that. When is it?
June 10th.
Oh. Find a place to stay up there?
Boy, I got a headphone situation, boys.
No. I may just get a flight and come right back, or maybe sleep in the car. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, you don't want to sleep in the car in Chicago.
You could, if you buy a flight now, it'd be super cheap.
You can't spend the night on the streets of Chicago. You'll be butchered like deer sausage.
Just go to the airport and spend the night there. That's probably the move anyways.
And I'll figure it out.
You know what I mean? You
I don't even know who I'm taking. Maybe I'll go by myself.
You got snacks, Wi-Fi, outlets. I do the airport. I just sleep there.
Sleep at the airport. That sounds terrible to me.
Better in a car.
Oh, you'd be butchered like deer sausage.
Did Iggy quit smoking, or did management bitch slap him for constantly being late in that 6-month review? That's from Classy, like Perry Ellis.
We've had longer breaks. That was about a 6-minute break,
All right.
which was typically longer than what we do.
Yeah, normally like 2.5, 3.5 minutes. So
Yeah.
I'm late. If it's 6.5, and
You didn't quit, though, did you?
be back in time.
Plowsy quit. You still quit, Plowsy?
Yeah, I have one every now and then. It's tough to quit.
Take the
but
edge off?
I don't know. It's just it's a hard thing to quit. You can go months without them, and then there's just certain days where it's tough.
Peter Cetera said you're a hard habit to break. Remember that, Doug?
Yes.
What was he talking about there?
Hard habit.
Crank.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
girlfriend.
probably
Probably a woman who left him.
Probably a little harder than Siggy's, I would think.
Yeah, probably a hooker.
You think it was a lady of the night?
Yeah, it's
That's what that was
tough
about?
habit of
Wasn't that
breakless.
Roxanne?
You can't
Hookers.
fall in love with a hooker.
Roxanne. I fall in love with Eddie McVeigh every time I go to Maggie O'Brien's, and you can too. Downtown, they did a huge renovation, so anytime you're going to a downtown St. Louis sporting event, go to Maggie O'Brien's pre- and post-game and experience what they have done right there on Market Street. Union Station is next to them, plus the Sunset Hills location where the Dotem pre-party will be here in, like 6-7 weeks. How do you do? Announcement coming up on Dotem details coming, I think, starting on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. It's Maggie O'Brien's Irish Pub. You know what you're going to get. They've been around for 40 years. It's Eddie McVeigh, the great host, Eddie McVeigh. You know what you can expect when you go to Maggie O'Brien's, and that's great food, great service, and a good time. It's Maggie O'Brien's on Market Street and in Sunset Hills. And if you are looking for a fine little dish, if you're going to be barbecuing with some really good weather this weekend, man, everybody on this dais would recommend that Andrea's barbecue sauce.
Gosh.
Oh, Bill. Oh, give me it, Bill. Oh. Andrea's barbecue sauce, Andrea's steak sauce, and, of course, Andrea's Steakhouse. They have their Kentucky Derby party coming up on May 6th. All of this is available for you at andreas.com. And if you want that barbecue sauce or steak sauce, it's available at andreas.com. It's also available at Schnucks and at Deerberg's. It's Andrea's. And it is a wonderful sponsor of the Ryan Kelly Morning After. For a sound story for Mother's Day and Father's Day, go to mysoundstory.com, get the gift certificate. Oh, look, you've just done your shopping. Or you can schedule it and come in and schedule it and tell the story of your gratitude for your mother or your father. mysoundstory.com. Doug's available. Jackson's available. Mm-hmm. John Hewlett's available. He was doing one. He did one yesterday, right, Plowhawk?
Yep. And they were awesome.
Was that right?
Absolutely awesome. Yeah.
Riz, Moon, Learn, Courtney Landrum, Randy Character. We were going to make Jamie Rivers available, but now that we're in the middle of radio wars, and I went back there and I announced my presence, and he was intimidated. I think it took him like an eighth of a second to get up and then stand over me.
He hasn't been the same since then.
I agree with you.
He's timid. He's been shaken.
He walked into our suite last night, and I did the same damn thing. And I said, well, Jackson wants a PC. He goes, where's Piddles at?
No. He does seem to have lost some of his swagger since you stood up to him like that.
I feel like that's the case. Backed him down. That's what happened to Stu Grimson after Reed Simpson approached him, Doug. Remember that?
He almost killed Reed Simpson. He went down. He felt so bad. He'd hit him so hard that he didn't stand over him and gloat. He goes, oh, my God, are you okay?
That's what happened back in the 101 office yesterday. We got a problem here. Yeah, we do.
Oh, sorry, Jackson. I had you potted up.
Oh, Jackson's been talking the whole time?
Oh, my bad. I just saw
Jackson, what do you have to say? We haven't heard you.
Well, I just wanted to say, when we saw Jamie in the suite last night, I told him I was going to let him slide because I didn't want to rough him up too bad for it to be on television.
Nice, good gesture on your part.
Yeah.
I told him you should, what did he ask me and Tim? He goes, the Rangers any good?
Jackson asked that question. Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah. There were a lot of conversations that, for Jackson's sake, we will not be retelling on 101 ESPN.
I'm very open, very transparent about my lack of hockey knowledge.
Yeah. You scolded Doug for the point system the NHL uses.
Also a scold and just kind of, I don't understand why wins and losses aren't acceptable.
You think every play is offsides?
I think they're offsides more often, and they just kind of let it slide.
Well, not really. They might let it slide if they don't score, but if they think something was offsides and the other team scores, then they'll
Yeah, that's
challenge
fair.
it.
That's a fair point. The point system to me seems silly.
Well, it's awfully complicated. 2 for a win and 1 for a tie.
What leaderboard you got up?
But there's no ties in hockey.
Well, there's a regulation tie.
PGA leaderboard's got day minus.
Doug, there's another conversation.
Iggy, you
Well, you guys can talk. I'm talking to Tim.
That was just...
You talk to Jackson. I'm talking to Tim.
And you bring up golf.
100-mile-an-hour is just...
Jackson, you get a point if regulation ends in a tie. You get another point if you win in regulation.
Why do you get a point if it ends in a tie?
That's just a rule. I don't know why about it, but you do.
Hockey love participation trophies, bro.
I don't know why about it.
Okay, Iggy. I'm sorry we had this little discussion. Now, what was your little problem?
Nothing. I'm just asking what leaderboard he's on.
ESPN.com, Doug.
All right.
The PGA has Jason Day minus 1 through 2 holes.
I don't know what to tell you on that. I mean, the Masters app would probably be the bee's knees, but I just toggle in between windows. Attention all 55 and older bar hags of Chicago. you'd have to pound the Marlboro smoke out of. Elderly HD2 radio intern needs lodging for one evening of watching Robert Smith and the rest of the deteriorating members of The Cure. If you're expecting to be pleasured, please note that your guest will just lie flat on the bed and do nothing. Thank you. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener. Oh, sounds like he's advertising.
There's probably a hostel or something you could stay at, isn't there?
A what?
A hostel?
What's that?
Oh,
Like a youth
you can't
hostel.
tell me you don't know what a hostel is.
No, what is it?
There's movies made of them.
It's like a bread and breakfast?
Yeah, it's like when you're in Europe, it's like a cheap place to
Well,
stay.
Chicago's not hardly Europe.
Right, but you could stay with Gareth.
How
That's
about
the
that?
move. That'd be the move.
I gotta find that girl who owns a chocolate thing.
What now?
My Hito friend owns a chocolatery.
She owns a chocolatery. Nobody calls it a chocolatery.
Well, she owns a chocolate shop.
A candy store?
No, just, well,
I'll take you to the candy shop.
but it's very expensive chocolate.
Nice.
A chocolatery.
And my first CD.
Really?
In my car, yeah. Word of mouth with the first CD I ever bought.
Ludicrous. 2000. That was at 2001.
I don't know the years, Tim.
01 or 02, I remember it just absolutely bang city, man.
Did it?
I think it was right the next year after Dre 2001, because I wanted to buy that, but my parents would not let me.
What's the difference?
There isn't any, I guess,
No,
word of mouth.
that was the beat.
Yeah, oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know what. I didn't get that.
My son
CD.
calls out song requests from the back seat, and it's always awkward when we kind of go down some of these artists.
Yeah, word of mouth has some very disrespectful titles.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
Hose in different area codes, Doug.
Yeah. And that's all just okay? Doesn't matter for there.
This
But
is
anywhere
early-
else, language is
this is
extremely
early
important
2000s.
except for music.
20 years ago.
Guys, Chicago does have a hostel. I got a hand job in the bottom bunk New Year's Eve of 2016. Hit me up, Iggy, if you need the details. That's from caller Buzz.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like sharing a bedroom with somebody.
But they're really cheap little places to stay when you don't want to pay a big
Stay in my
hotel
car.
bill.
It's cheap.
No, I'm telling you, you'll be butchered like so much deer sausage.
Oh, I would not stay in Chicago in my car, locked or not. Ain't no way.
God, no.
I ain't doing that in St. Louis either, by the way,
No.
Chicago people. I'm
No.
telling you, not a great idea.
It's going to be June. I'll go down to Lakeshore Drive and just sit on a park bench for a while.
Oh.
It doesn't sound like a good idea to me.
I literally think going back to the airport after the concert, even if you have to wait there 7 hours, you got bathrooms, you have snacks, you have outlets, you have heating and AC, you got people to talk to. Comfort is everywhere.
The move is taking the train.
Yeah.
Take
How
the
about
train.
the train?
Take the Amtrak.
How long does that take?
7 hours.
Does it really?
I bet.
Probably.
I can drive in 5.
Right,
But you got to do all the work if you drive.
Yeah. And it's kind of fun, the clickety-clack.
But you won't be able to smoke the entire time.
They make frequent stops.
I didn't know how long the stops
Probably
were.
like an hour or two in between some. But I've taken the train to Chicago. It's fun.
And the clickety-clack you enjoy?
I really enjoy the clickety-clack. You get to see the great parts of the heartland of America.
Right, a lot of corn out there in
And
Illinois.
we did the Sedona train ride out there in Arizona. That's amazing. I
I'll
would
figure
highly
it out.
recommend doing that.
I mean, I can probably get a Southwest flight for, I don't know, $70 round trip.
I don't know about round trip.
You probably get
70 round
140,
trip?
150 round trip. I think that'd be.
Yeah, maybe one way 90 or so would be my guess.
Again, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
It's
Just concerned.
a couple months from now.
Yeah. You could hitchhike, stay in a hostel.
Yeah, maybe I'll just start walking now.
And have you figured out who you're bringing yet?
I have not.
Ooh, Bill.
Because I don't know if I want to. I'm not taking a date and all that. But
Should that be a contest on the show?
Yeah, what about that?
no, I'm not taking.
Win a
it.
trip to Chicago with Iggy to seek the cure.
No, I want to enjoy this show. I don't want to have to.
Well, what if it's someone that ones that you would enjoy?
Well, what if it's not?
Well, then you take your medicine.
No. I mean, I could do an auction. Just
What if you got to pick? What if people threw their name in the hat and you got
yeah,
to choose?
it's $20 entry fee. Throw your name in. I'll stop. There's only 100 entries. $20 an entry fee.
Yeah.
And if you get your name picked, you don't have to pay for the ticket.
But if you don't get your name picked, you're just out 20. It goes to the Megan Meyer Foundation.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to keep the money. I mean, I'll keep the $100 I paid for the ticket. Other than that, it's all goes to charity.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that I know that actually like The Cure. So I don't want to take somebody that doesn't like the band.
Well, they wouldn't put their name up for consideration.
I want somebody to go that actually wants to see the band, that would enjoy seeing The Cure, because I know I'm going to.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Well, maybe when you're there, you could sell the ticket to someone on the street looking to buy a ticket.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. I don't think you can transfer these tickets. That was the whole point of why they were cheap, because they don't want people transferring tickets and making $8,000 on a ticket.
Jackson just posted banned from my kid's baseball game starter pack on St. Louis Starter Packs, and it's some of your finest work, Jackson.
Thanks.
It's outstanding. I got to tell you, at least you get credit for something that is as brilliant as St. Louis Starter Packs.
Yeah, trust me. Like, it's very nice that people think I'm that clever, but that's certainly something that I want people to know it's not me. But if they want to continue to think that, it's very complimentary.
What was that? Somebody's vibrator?
No, Cletus was telling me that's how he met Flower on a blind date.
Flower, and the Flower flew down to Florida to meet him, right?
Yeah, he took a complete stranger dude to Florida to share a bed with him.
It worked out nicely for him, as this could for you.
I'm not looking for a man.
Flip it off. Time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Obsidian's Lair 2. Darcy Dolce and Mia Malkova. You are welcome. But this email is more than just shiny, high-heeled boots, superheroine lesbian video trimming tips. Some guys are good planners. Some guys are good at execution. Heck, some guys are just born with a God-given ability. Today, Tim showed the world he is all three. He's just on a different level. I've never seen anything like it. But this email's about Easter. This year I'm putting Tabasco on the carrots I leave out. Because I've decided to teach that Easter bunny a lesson. You eat my hostas? What does that mean?
Hostas? The plant? H-A-S-T-A?
Oh, okay. Never heard of it. You get what's coming to you. Peter Cottontail. More Peter messed up the wrong guy's foliage, you ass. I'm horny.
What kind of an email is this? Who wrote this in?
We're almost home. Don't worry.
Okay.
I guess I'm just surly. You know who has been cheated? Me. I look at my YouTube right now. I look at my YouTube top right corner for inspiration every day, and Tim is not there. It's from Jen Knottle.
Oh, you get me. How about that?
I think he might write these with his feet.
Until.
Because there's words, they're English, but they don't make sense in succession with each other.
Was that still the first email?
It was.
Yeah, Jen Until.
And Young, sitting on the pooper and wanted to share these gems peppered in by the wrinkled trench coat with high fashion sense over a 2-minute stretch at the end of the show. Here we go. What's a hostel? Is that a bread and butter? Well, Chicago is hardly in Europe. I gotta find the girl who owns the chocolate thing. She owns the chocolatary. Tim, what leaderboard are you using? Thanks, that's from #1 Asian intern Brian Henshin, a.k.a. ASMR Ting Ting 45. We're back, you stinky sluts, and in honor of the Masters, the next 73 subs will receive a free coupon to that bread and butt, the chocolatary. Old Man Wrinkles brought up apropos of literally nothing there after feeling the shame of a failed hijacking during Doug and Jackson's conversation. Have a great weekend. Brian Henshin.
Brian Henshin.
And Young, I was inspired by Kevin Miller's latest gem. I am horny. Thanks. It's from #1 Asian intern Brian Henshin, a.k.a. Ken Play, the sexy sexologist and noticed fetish fiend from down South Dakota way.
Brian Henshin.
Sent from my iPad.
Oh, okay.
It's good to see that you guys have cleaned up all of the technical and audio issues from yesterday. Sure, Doug appears to be participating in a dimly lit seance. Tim's mic volume is still low, and Plowsy's camera is aimed so high that only the top of his head is showing. But other than those minor issues, I'd say things are looking up. Even though he looks like he's broadcasting from a dark corner in a nightclub, at least Doug doesn't look like an Oompa Loompa anymore. So that's pretty cool. And sure, Plowsy's camera angle makes him look like a little kid who finally got the chance to sit with the adults at the Thanksgiving dinner table. But let's focus on the bright spots, like my favorite part of the show, when a close-up of Jackson's cute face appeared on the YouTube stream like a curious little cat inspecting a home security camera.
Oh.
Listeners can hate on your technology issues all they want, But at the end of the day, no one else can provide Masters coverage like you guys. No other show in the market has insight about the legendary Bob Hogan. Nobody else has dared to talk about Brooks Koepka wearing a thong. You think Randy Character has the awareness to blurt out every random thought that pops into his brain live on the air, no matter how stupid it is? There's no way he would have the wherewithal to ask if the members at Augusta take things for granted while slurping coffee and smacking his lips directly into his microphone. You think Frank Cusimano has the guts to break down the Ford Maverick, a vehicle that hasn't been produced since 1977? Do you think Bernie Miklasz is discussing the difference between Lana Rhoades and Jenna Jameson and whether or not strawberries were ever inserted into their nether regions? Get real. There's only one show brave enough to weave that topic into their Masters coverage, and that show is TMA. If you guys don't make it into the Barrett Sports Media Top 20 with this kind of excellence, then I'm afraid the whole system is rigged against you. But you'll always be number one in my book. They'll get some of the JV golf coach.
Yeah. JV golf coach.
In anticipation of the first TMA fashion show, I went to South County Mall and asked the retired boxer working at the T-shirt kiosk where I could find the hottest new FUPA jackets, but he didn't have a clue what I was talking about and just rambled about Sex Lewis and said he was headed up to Sbarro to have anal. I know a lot about technology and stuff, and it's great. How's Darren Atkins? We gonna bring that back? How about that whole deal? Plowsy can't really be this technologically challenged. This is to be a bit. He's not the real-life version of Charlie Day from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, is he? I think most people figured out how to use a webcam at some point 3 years ago, but apparently it's too much for Plowsy to adjust his own webcam so it shows more than the top of his face. I guess we shouldn't be surprised that he once shot 20 minutes of B-roll with the lens cap on. He can't log into Facebook or his email account and then broadcast where his girlfriend stores her passwords for all the hackers in the listening audience. Iggy, to his credit, knows how to reset his passwords. He just struggles anytime he has to update his billing info and conveniently let his gin expire, leaving him without proper handicap. Bob Hogan is surely rolling over in his grave the way the rules are being ignored in this Fan Page Club Championship. That's from Buck Swope.
Buck Swope with a nice little email.
And finally, morning, Tim. Seeing as how you guys are doing admin work on air nowadays, I'd like trying to figure out how the cameras work and figuring out how Plowsy is going to get his Blues tickets while sponsors are on the phone. Any chance you're willing to discuss the meetings that took place where you were told TMA was going to be responsible for a St. Louis's Most Beautiful People segment? I figured since you own your own content, maybe you could play that meeting for us, kind of like you did with the press conference heard around the world. Thanks. That comes from Gunter.
Gunter with the umlaut.
That's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today on United Designers.
Brian Hinchin was pretty good. Jen Nuttall, I didn't think it was his best work. Buck Swope had a nice little email, but I'm going to vote for the JV golf coach.
I'm going to go for, not that it matters which one, but I'm going to go with Hinchin.
JV golf coach is a ship the Design Air Heating and Cooling email the day. Time for us to shut it down. Jackson and I still have a little work to do, Doug. It's called Balloon Party.
Yeah.
It's a show where we get our asses ripped by people from 10 to 11 o'clock. Iggy drops by every now and again.
Well, once. And everybody out there, and you guys especially, have a great Easter. Remember what the day's all about, but enjoy yourself with your family and friends, and enjoy Easter. It's supposed to be a beautiful day.
There you go.
This is the day when Christians traditionally eat hot cross buns.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
a bun in the shape of a cross with icing and some raisins in there.
Yeah. Well, when you think of Easter, I don't know about you, but when I think of Christ dying on the cross and rising from the dead, I think of Easter bunnies. So it's chocolate.
What in the world did you just say?
I got my peeps already opened up, ready to be hard as a rock.
I don't know how that came about, but that's somehow got
I wish we
tied
had
into Easter.
Hour.
Yeah, we should have started the show with that.
Why do we have to be 9:58?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Everybody,
we can just do a balloon party from this studio and just keep the momentum going.
Everybody have a good Easter.
Tommy last night said, yeah, I went back and podcasted when he came into the studio for Balloon Party. That was interesting.
Now, interesting how...
I did what I said I was going to do. I'm coming in for a minute and a half to knock this out of here, and I'm gone.
All right, time for us to shut it down. For the Plowhawk, for Action Jackson, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McCurdy. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Test. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame legends, Kiss.